that may go undefeated or only have 1 or 2 losses. So that's why the RPI at this point of the season is so skewed.
Well, they do have 3 wins on the season and 2 losses. They beat North St. Pete in the first game of the year, then Union on the road in the second game of the year. So they opened up 2-0, did Emery. Then back-to-back losses at Enterprise and to Manti a couple weeks ago. Then they followed that up with a win at Carbon last week in Price, and that was a big one for them, 46-10. So Emery back in the win column as of last week against Carbon. And if you look at this all-time series between these two teams, San Juan has a 19-8 edge. That goes all the way back to 1975. These two teams have only met 5 times since 2000. San Juan has won all of those matchups, including last year's semifinal barn burner. And it was an exciting win, a 56-48 final. I remember we were nervous the entire game, Art, and this Emery team took San Juan all the way to the wire in that semifinal game last year.
Yeah, arguably the best game San Juan was given last year was that game against Emery. They came out guns a-blazing. I expect that tonight as we talk about them. But they've got 3 studs on offense, and they obviously play both ways, and they get it done on defense too. So, you know, they lost to Enterprise. Enterprise is one of the top teams in 1A. Enterprise, in my mind, is a 2A team. And so with the realignment, with 8-man football, you drop some teams down. And I think Enterprise any given year should be a 2A team. And so for that loss for them, you know, and then they're just – this is a scary team to me. This is a team that last year we thought, oh, we're going to roll over these guys, and they got there in that semifinal game, and they just gave the Broncos all they could handle. Just a very talented, very well-coached team. Not a lot of kids out, not a lot of numbers you can see on the field compared to San Juan's numbers, but you only have to play 11 guys. And if those 11 guys can get it done, that's what you need out of them. But, yeah, I'm excited for tonight's matchup. To me, this is the game I circled on San Juan's schedule to be the matchup where it's going to really test them. Hopefully they're ready by all their preseason games and the games they've played so far. You talk about last week, you know, kind of took a little time to get off the bus. Judge kind of came in and gave him a little shock that first drive, and put 7 on the board, and then San Juan went to work. So I expect you know, homecoming week. They're wearing the gold jerseys tonight, gold pants. They look sharp. I expect this to be a good game.
Yeah, a little bit of alternate uniforms for the Broncos this evening. We'll talk more about that here in just a moment. But continuing with Emery here on the Friday Night Lights pregame show, this is a team that returned 8 starters on offense this year and 7 on defense. And the main man, Wade Stilson, who we remember last year, was just airing it out on this San Juan defense and hitting his guys downfield. I mean, you know, this year he's thrown for over 1,000 yards, over 1,300 yards, actually, 1,317. He's completing about 57% of his passes, 174 on the year. This is all coming from the Des News. I found better stats on the Des News website than I did Max Prep's. He's got 10 touchdowns, Art, but he's thrown 9 interceptions as well. So,
yeah, anytime you hang the ball up in the air, for a quarterback, you're gonna have you may have that chance to be intercepted. So you really have to have receivers that are gonna go up and fight for that ball. But as you're talking about, Wade Stilson, like you said, fantastic last year, threw for 19 passing touchdowns. 11 of those were to Creek Sharp. Creek Sharp, the wide receiver, number 3 for Emery. He averaged 100.8 yards a game last year. Just a dynamic, fantastic receiver who, if San Juan has some of the troubles we've seen in the defensive back, safeties, he could have a big game here today. And so, you know, I know that they've watched film on him. They remember him from last year. You don't gain 100 yards a game as a wide receiver by, you know, not being very talented and very good. This kid is one that you're going to have to – I would imagine that, like last week, they kind of moved Parker out of his safety position, played a little cornerback with him. I would imagine you're going to put your best cover guy on Creek tonight, because if you don't, this guy could have an explosive game.
Well, you talk about Creek Sharp, and his second leading receiver this year, Matt Olson, is out tonight with injury. I don't know exactly what's going on with him, so Emery's offense is going to be missing him. Both of those guys, Sharp and Olson, leading the team with 340 yards apiece. A lot more catches for Olson, but they're going to be missing him and his 2 touchdowns. Creek Sharp has 3 touchdowns coming into this game and 18 receptions so far this year. Then you've got Mason Stilson, 12 catches, 219 yards, and 4 TDs. So he leads the team in receiving touchdowns. Porter Herdsman, only 5 catches, but 134 yards for him, and he's got 1 TD. Then you've got a kid named Deacon Mangum, 12 catches, 115 yards, no touchdowns yet for him on the season. And then Luke Justice has that final receiving touchdown for Emery, 12 receptions for him and 106 yards. So Stilson's got a lot of weapons to go to again this season. I don't know if it's the offensive production that they enjoyed last year, but still, obviously, like you say, a bit of a scary game tonight for San Juan, although I don't think they're going to fly under that radar like they did a little bit last year. I think San Juan would admit maybe they weren't as prepared as they needed to be in that game last year in the semis.
Yeah, and you look at also their run game, Dane Citrid, number 24, who we're going to see a lot of tonight, and San Juan's going to see a lot of him tonight, I believe. You know, he rushed last year for almost 60 yards a game, which is, you know, in a passing offense, that's commendable for a running back to gain 60 yards a game when you know you're going to want to air it out running the spread like they do. But he's also one of their leading tacklers, and he does a fantastic job on defense. So they've got some playmakers on that team, and it's going to be interesting to see how San Juan played them last year. They got that familiarity with them now. They've seen them on film. They know kind of what they're about. So I expect San Juan to be a little more prepared for what they're going to throw to them. But Emery's a scary team, dude.
Yep. Citrid comes in with 412 yards, 82 carries for him, 5 touchdowns. The other 5, there's 5 other rushing touchdowns for the quarterback, Wade Stilson. And then Bowden Chrisman has 1 touchdown. Not a whole lot of action for him, maybe some JV action late in games. But that's a quick look at the Emery Spartan squad as we get set for our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. I did receive word that we're on the air, so that's good. We can't hear ourselves over here. So obviously things are a little bit jacked up in the board at the studio. Again, I blame my chubby fingers for that. Hitting a button I didn't mean to hit. Wiped us all out, so it took me a while to get set up. That's also why we're running a little bit late starting tonight, and I won't have any coaches interviews today either. So I regret that a little bit. I would have hoped to have talked to both of these coaches. But at any rate, we're on the air, and we're getting set for what's going to be a fun matchup tonight. We'll take a break. We'll come back out to San Juan High School and talk about the hometown San Juan Broncos, who are looking for their 31st win in a row tonight. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
High School in Blanding, Utah on a
It's
beautiful
Friday
evening
Night
here
Lights on Red Rock
in
92
September,
and
it is Friday Night Lights on Red
pictureitpalmer.com.
Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. Mid-September, in fact, and Art, it's nice to have the weather cooling down a little bit. It really is starting to feel like football at this point.
Well, you know it's getting colder in San Juan County when Coach Bobby Bowering puts on the beanie.
Yeah.
Because he usually doesn't wear anything. He's usually just out there sporting the crew cut, you know.
Yep.
But he's got the beanie on tonight, and so it's got to be it's winter time.
Well, we do welcome you in to San Juan High School tonight. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. Rhett Sifford and Art Adair with you as always, and another fun one for us here tonight as we get set to go. The San Juan Broncos hosting the Emery Spartans. It's a rematch of last year's 2A state semifinal matchup in a game that was an offensive shootout and a very exciting 56-48 win for San Juan, one of their 30 in a row, which of course they have matched their school record that was set back between the time of 2009 to 2011. So it's hard to believe, but that was 12 years ago. And San Juan's own Barkley Christensen, who's a coach, the head coach of this team now, was on those teams, helping them win a couple state championships as quarterback. And so he is now coaching his alma mater and has done an outstanding job, obviously, in his first 7 years. And actually 6.5 years, I should say. He is in his 7th year with now a 56-19 record. As they come in tonight, the Broncos are number 1 in the 2A RPI standings early in the season. Parker Snyder just continues to get it done in the quarterback position, 85 of 126. So he's completing almost 68% of his passes this year. Yardage-wise, he's just under Wade Stilson at 1,296, but he's thrown for 15 touchdowns and just 2 interceptions, Art.
Just a dynamic player, both with his arm and his feet. If the play's there downfield, he always seems to be keeping his eyes downfield, what you want a quarterback to do. But he's also not afraid to take off and run when he sees a seam, and he gets big yardage out of that. And he is such a fun kid to watch, and you know, as he has progressed from his junior to senior year. You know, sometimes you see a kid peak his junior year and they don't get any better, but he has definitely gotten better this year. He's made some sound decisions in ball games. You know, even if it's taking a sack, you know, Judge, that was a sound decision by a good quarterback. And so, you know, he's a heck of a player and he's fun to watch. When he gets out and running, man, he is – sometimes as a coach you cringe when your quarterback gets out there and he's on the move. But with Parker, you're like, man, he could score every time.
Yeah, and he's done some damage, just like you said. He's not the leading rusher, but he's right behind Zach Conway, both seniors. Parker Snyder, 51 carries this year, 447 yards and 9 touchdowns. A lot of his stats have been hurt sometimes by sacks every now and then. You know, obviously the quarterback's rushing stats take a hit anytime there's a loss back there, if it's not someone else carrying the football, obviously. But Zach Conway, again, just amazing, a workhorse for San Juan, both last year and this year. 70 carries for him, 693 yards, and 13 touchdowns for the senior running back. The weapons for Parker Snyder to hit downfield when he's throwing the ball, Jake Ivins continues to lead the way. He's got 20 catches, 296 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Zach Conway out of the backfield, only 12 catches, but in those he's averaging almost 22 yards a catch, so he's up to 263 yards on the year, also with 3 TDs. Brigham Nielsen has 14 catches, 231 yards, and one touchdown. Anthony Doan still hanging in. He's got 19 catches, 224 yards, and 3 touchdowns, and I'm hoping we're going to see him again tonight. I know he was injured, so he is out once again. So unfortunately, the Broncos are going to be missing Doan, but Javen Montella, the man who stepped up and made a couple circus catches, key catches for San Juan early in that game last week, now has 5 touchdowns. That leads the receiving corps. He's got 13 catches for 185 yards for San Juan.
Oh, Javen was unreal last week. He made the KSL top 5 plays of the week.
Twice.
You know, he was, and that's awesome when a kid from a small school, 2A, 1A, makes their big list up there. But, you know, Anthony Doan, talked to him last week after the game. He said he feels good. Said expect him back after this game. So missed 2 games. Hopefully he comes back 100%. But he has been a target. But Ivins, man, he has been a target. He's been a threat within that 8 to 10 yard zone. He's not afraid to go across the middle and pull that ball down from Parker. And just exciting. He's a playmaker. You know, we compare him to Wes Welker, the retired NFL slot receiver. But you love it when you see a kid like that just get in there and mix it up, and he's not afraid to go across the middle, bring those balls down. And he gets massive yards after the catch, too. He is quick.
Yep. Well, defense-wise for San Juan, Jake continues to lead the way tackling as well. 50 tackles for him. Trace Bennett has 37. J.D. Palmer, 35. Jayton Knight also has 35 tackles for San Juan, and Jordan Duke has 33. And Zach Conway, just kind of honorable mention for him. He's got 5 tackles for loss, even though he's not up in the top 5 tackle leaders. 5 of his 9 tackles all year have been for loss. And again, I don't know, how official these stats are. I think they're fairly official, but Jake Ivins leading with 8 tackles for loss, and Jayton Knight has 8 of those. Just looking at the defensive stops. Sack-wise, of course, Jayton Knight leading the way with 4. Zach Conway has a couple. J.D. Palmer has 1, as does Taylor Black and Jake Ivins. All have 1 sack apiece. And the Broncos are forcing a lot of turnovers as well. 16 takeaways on the season. And just kind of going down the list, Branton Bethea has 1 interception. Brigham Nielsen has 4. Trace Bennett with 1. J.D. Palmer with 1. Fumble recoveries, Jake Ivins has 3. Jayton Knight with 2. And all the rest of these guys with 1 apiece. Parker Snyder, Trace Bennett, Zach Conway, and Jordan Duke all helping out the defense with some takeaways on the fumble recoveries. So just taking a look at both of these teams. And Art, we've already mentioned the alternate jersey tonight, going with the gold. You say it's gold and not yellow tonight. So I know that's a fact. I've never seen this, so this will be a unique perspective tonight, a unique look for the Broncos out on their home field tonight for homecoming.
Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I like the alternative jersey look in other leagues, and I think whoever put this combo together really hit the nail on the head. And it's a throwback to, what they used to wear here at San Juan. Some old pictures being shared on Facebook this week of some old players wearing those old gold jerseys with the blue stripes. And so nice little touch on homecoming.
All right, well, that's a look at both teams tonight. The Friday Night Lights pregame show here on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com as the team coming out on the field now sporting the American flags, and we get set for the national anthem and the opening kickoff. It's right around the corner. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back out for the opening kick, actually for the coin toss and the opening kick. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
And join us in paying tribute to the great nation. Our own Madeline Pugh will sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Back live to San Juan High School as Madeline Pugh wraps up the national anthem. A beautiful rendition tonight. And we get set for the opening kickoff here tonight. The San Juan Broncos taking on the Emery Spartans on their home turf for just the second time this season and only 3 times this year during the regular season for the San Juan Broncos. Obviously, they hope to have a 4th during early rounds of the state tournament in a few weeks, but at least for the regular season, just 3 home games on the schedule. So after tonight, we'll be 2/3 of the way through that. It's kind of hard to believe that, but the Broncos, again, sporting the gold unis tonight with the blue numbers and blue trim. Same gold helmets that they traditionally wear with the blue trim, the blue logo, and the blue face mask on those, so they look sharp. Emery going to be wearing white tonight on the road with the black numbers and the black helmets, just like they wore in that semifinal game last year. And this is going to be a fun one here tonight as the Broncos rematch that state semifinal game from last season.
Yeah, it's also good to point out Justice Black, number 10's out here again tonight. He was hurt a couple of games in the season, took a couple games off, came back last week up there at Judge, played a couple of snaps. I had the chance to talk to him this last weekend. Said it felt good, said everything was good with the doctors. So I look for him to be a big role player on that defense. Like we've talked about before, he does a good job at that defensive end when he's in there. And you talked about Zach, getting in there and being honorary on the list of tackles. That's because they like to use him in that backer spot. But when they need pressure, they bring him up on that end. They bring that outside backer up, and they'll send him on those blitzes. And he just tears things up. So look for him to be that game changer if Emery starts moving the ball. Look for them to use Zach in that role, get him up close to the line of scrimmage, send him on a blitz to stop the momentum.
All right, so as we get set, doing the coin toss right now, so we'll see who's going to have the ball here momentarily. And it looks like the San Juan Broncos, no surprise, are going to receive the opening kick. And it looks like they'll also be going from north to south here in this first quarter. Just trying to take a look. I don't know why I'm not seeing a flag out there. There we go. We got a flag. It's just kind of sitting dead in the wind. So at this point, not a whole lot of wind, at least up on that pole. So wind not a factor like it was a couple weeks ago up in Summit Academy. But Friday Night Lights tonight on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com, brought to you in part by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency tonight, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Health, Car Shop Auto Body, and Colleen Kays, author of the 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power. So we will see the San Juan offense first tonight, theoretically. Of course, they have to make a clean fielding of the kick and hang on to the football, and then Parker Snyder will bring the offense out on the field. And again, the San Juan Broncos looking for their 31st win in a row. They would move into sole possession of the 5th longest winning streak in the state of Utah history. And it's really rare, Art. I heard someone mention this week there's only 5 teams who have done it. Of course, technically there's 6, but San Juan now has done it twice. So I guess they're considered the same team, obviously. But, yeah, only 5 teams in the history of the state of Utah high school football have won 30 straight.
It's hard to do what San Juan's done over the last few years. To win that many games consistently, it takes a lot of things. It takes a lot of preparation. It takes a lot of just kids getting out and doing the extra work in the summer to be able to do that every year in and year out. And that's what they have down here. They've built the fan base. They've got the kids bought in, the coaches. They've brought in good coaches. And that's just what happens with a program when you're able to get all those intangibles put together. This is what happens for a football team. Now, saying that, Beaver was there once.
That's right.
Everybody gets there. It's how long can you continue that streak? And so hopefully tonight it doesn't end. But like we said earlier in the pregame show, this Emery team to me on paper and from what we saw last year is a scary team. They're a dynamic team, and they can put up big numbers and go toe-to-toe with anybody on any given night.
Yeah, it's hard to imagine, or if you just think about it, both Beaver first and Corner Canyon with that 48-game winning streak, both tied at the top of that column. And so still a long way to go for San Juan, but we are underway here tonight. Trace Bennett on the opening kick, and he's not going to go anywhere. He went east and west on that return and was never able to cut it upfield. He's going to be brought down at the 10, and that's where San Juan starts 1st and 10 on their first possession of the night.
And San Juan trying to set up that little wall over here, running Trace into it. But Emery, kudos to their kickoff team. They got down the field quick. They broke down. The first guy there didn't make the tackle, but he was able to slow Trace up, which allowed his team to help. And that's what Emery's going to have to do tonight. They're going to have to be a team that rallies around the tackle.
All right, so Parker Snyder does bring him out on the offense for the first time tonight. Pump fakes, and then keeps it himself. Off left tackle he goes, tries to get to the outside. It's a first down and more as he's going to run it all the way out near the 20-yard line on a big gain for the senior quarterback on first down.
Totally designed first play by Coach Christensen. Fake that little pass, and then that was a run all the way from Parker.
And a quick 19-yard run. It'll be 1st and 10 at their own 19. 29. And so Snyder throws into the flat, and he's got Jake Ivins who follows a block. Had a nice block. He's going to get another first down and a couple extra yards for San Juan. That's going to be a 16, 17, 18-yard pass for San Juan.
And Jake comes up a little hobbled. Hopefully he just got kneeled on wrong. He's not going to come out of the game. He's a gamer, and they're going quick. Bronco football right here.
1st and 10 now from the 45 already as the Broncos on the move on their first drive. Zach Conway doesn't get the ball. He is faked to, and then Palmer keeps it himself on the quarterback run again, 4 yards across midfield into Emery territory for the first time tonight at the 49.
Yeah, and it looks like Emery's only playing 6 guys in the box here, so if you're a run team, that's what you like to see.
2nd down and 6, and they continue to go hurry up. Now Conway does take the handoff, and he's going to rumble across the 45 down to the 43-yard line, and that's a pickup of about 6 yards, maybe 7.
And you watch as these big front 5 for San Juan get going, they get their legs under him, they get that adrenaline going, they're going to start making some huge holes here.
We're just a minute in, and the Broncos just driving downfield. Now Javen Montella takes a pass in the flat, and he's going to go the distance from 42 yards. It's a touchdown pass just like that, just over a minute into the game from Parker Snyder to Javen Montella, and that lethal duo strikes again. What a play. Man, he hit the Jets right after he caught the ball. He eluded a tackler and was off to the races.
Yeah, like you said, one guy to beat, and he makes a move and then gets his speed on. And just like that, out the gate, here's San Juan. I think after last week, they were a little, hey, let's go down and get a quick score. We don't want to have the same thing happen that happened last week with 3 and out.
Man, that was a quick strike for San Juan. Now the PAT is up and good for Everett Nielsen. And so San Juan leads at 7-0, and again, just over a minute in, it wasn't. So we got a different kicker.
Trip Palmer.
Trip Palmer on the kick, and I think we've got a cannon over. Was that a cannon?
Over there.
Wow, That was awesome. That was thunderous. Someone brought a cannon to the game. You can't lose with that. I guess unless it's not blanks they're firing.
Well, it's aimed right at us, so hopefully
That's right.
they're blanks.
I didn't feel anything, so I think we're all right. 7-0, 10:54 to go in the opening quarter on a 42-yard strike from Parker Snyder to Javen Montella. The Broncos already on top of the Emery Spartans here tonight.
And that was the easiest catch Javen's made in 2 weeks. Last week, all of them were above his head, falling backwards, acrobatic catches. So that one was, in space, led him perfectly, and he was able to make his move. Just, and that's what happens when you have a runner like Parker, a runner like Zach. You draw your defenses in. I know they're only playing 6 guys in the box, but they're playing those outside linebackers close up to the line because they don't want those 2 to have a big game. And what that does is opens up your receivers. And like we've seen over the course of the last 5 weeks, that these receivers and Parker have gotten really comfortable with each other, and they've started that relationship that he trusts them, they trust him, and they're going to go get the ball for him.
So who'd you say did the PAT?
24, Trip
24,
Palmer.
Okay. I had the wrong number. So.
He's kicking off, too.
All right, so Trip Palmer, who has been doing some kicking duties, is 1 for 1 on the PATs tonight, and the ball was down, but it's recovered mercifully for Emery by number 12, Deacon Mangum. He's one of their wide receivers, and it's going to be not great starting field position for Emery inside their own 20 at the 18.
Yeah, but it works out for Emery. Jackson Johnson comes up, number 22, to make that, field that kick. He goes right through his hands, and luckily for him, he has a teammate there that's able to jump on it. Instead of trying to pick that up, which bad things can happen, he just secures the ball, and the offense is on the field.
So we're going to see Wade Stilson in the offense for the first time tonight, and, of course, it was an offensive shootout between these 2 teams last year. A lot of passing, but they go to the ground on first down, and it's going to be a pickup of 5 right off the hop. Trace Bennett on the stop, and the running back is a little bit hobbled. Dane Sitrid on a 5-yard carry, but he's limping a little bit, headed back to the huddle.
Jordan Duke in there as well. I think he got drugged 3 yards, so he's going to have to keep his feet and go forward with those tackles.
2nd down and 5 for Emery across their own 20 to the 23. Stilson will hand off again to Sitrid, and he's not going to go very far. Maybe a yard on 2nd down, so it'll be 3rd down, and we'll call it 4.
Yeah, and that whole play, Jake Ivins playing his end position here. He played that wide enough, and he got up there in space to where the running back, he wanted to bounce that to the left side of the field here, but he gets there. Jake's standing there, forces him back inside, which is what you want your outside linebackers or defensive ends to do. You want to force everything back to the middle where all your big linemen are. Perfect play by Jake.
And we are just now over 2 minutes into this ball game, 7-0 for San Juan. Wade Stilson's going to throw for the first time tonight. Connects with his man, but it's in the flat for what's going to be a short gain. It looks like only about a yard, and that's a man who recovered the kick for them, Deacon Mangum. But only a yard pickup on this completion, so it'll be 4th down and a long 2, short 3. So now a decision here.
It looks like they're punting with Stilson, so he must be their punter as well as their quarterback.
Yeah, and they drop him back in more traditional punting formation where San Juan typically will stay in the offensive look, the spread offense, but punt from that spread offense. But they do have Stilson back deep here, and he will kick it away. And he's going to get a decent kick. It depends on the bounce. It will take an Emery roll. San Juan's got a chance to return this, picking it up at the 30 and now making a move. Is that Parker Snyder? No, it's Branton Bethea on the return, and he'll get it back around midfield. That's a pickup of about 15 on the return. So a nice little return for Branton Bethea. Puts San Juan in business again just shy of midfield.
Yeah, he almost got tackled right there when he fielded it and made a nice little move and was able to get upfield. And you always like that out of your kick coverage team. You know, positive yards are always a good thing to give your offense a good starting point.
So San Juan stops Emery on their first possession, and the Broncos a chance to add to their lead. They're up 7-0. 8:52 to go in the opening quarter here tonight from the San Juan High School football field. It's homecoming. Broncos in their alternate gold uniforms for the first time ever. And Parker Snyder will throw to Javen Montella again. This has really become the go-to combo, and it's going to be a quick connection for another 12 yards and a first down for San Juan.
Great little wide receiver screens. The inside number 3 and number 1 for San Juan get in there, block their guys, which gives him the opportunity to get upfield and pick up the first down. That play doesn't work if you don't have blocking by your wide receivers.
And Montella's moved into the 4th spot for receivers for San Juan. Now Snyder's going to connect with Nielsen on the far side of the field. Brigham Nielsen will get another 10 yards for the Broncos and another first down to the Emery 30. Boy, it's just chunk yardage now for San Juan as they just are moving it down the field at will. 1st and 10 once again, and they go hurry up. Parker Snyder from the shotgun on the run pass option. Took a while to read and finally just snagged it out of Conway's stomach and took it himself for 4 yards. Maybe 3, it looks like, actually. 2nd down and 7. So all positive yardage for San Juan here in the early stages.
Yeah, they're reading this defensive end on those RPOs.
Snyder will play action in the backfield, then throw to the left side. Brigham Nielsen. Nielsen has some room, and he goes down the sideline for a touchdown for San Juan. It's a 27-yard strike, and back-to-back touchdowns for the Broncos make it 13-0 with 8:08 left in this first quarter.
Yeah, when you go trips to one side of the field, that really draws the defense over. The safety might cheat over a little bit. You know, you always want to defend that trip side, and so that really gives a receiver like Magnum, or Brigham, sorry, I keep going back to his brother, that one-on-one opportunity. When you're as good as Magnum is, you just catch the ball and go. And here we got a little bit of a muff PAT and Parker scrambling.
Oh, and he got hammered. Parker Snyder gets hammered in the backfield as San Juan's PAT will fail here. So 13-0 the score remains. 8:08 to go in the opening quarter. Broncos up by 2 scores minus an extra point. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back out as Emery gets set for their second possession of the night. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com.
Fire.
They're still over there trying to load it.
Yeah.
30 seconds. Sorry, we're going to be late. Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com as the Broncos kick it away after scoring their second touchdown of the night. And this time Emery will get an opportunity to return it, and they get a decent return out across their own 25 near the 26-yard line. Looked like that was Jackson Johnson on the return. Man, when I was a little kid doing my own Atlanta Braves broadcasts on tape, I would always say that's the type of names I would come up with, Jackson Johnson or Jeff Johnson or just like double letters and stuff. I'll be quiet about that.
Stetson Black did a great job getting down there and making that tackle on that special teams coverage for the Broncos as well.
You're like, quiet down,
Kudos
Rhett.
to that kid.
Quiet down, Rhett. 1st and 10 for Emery as Stilson will roll out. Man, he is a big kid. And he throws to the left side again and connects for 7 yards to the same man he hit on the last possession, number 12, Deacon Mangum.
Yeah, that's his check down receiver. He's looking to go deep or across the middle on a post route to his far receiver, number 23, but San Juan's done a fantastic job with their coverage so far in blanketing those guys, so he's going to check that down. So you look for him to get a lot of receptions tonight.
So here's Stilson again from the shotgun. This time they'll go back to the ground, and it's going to be real close. I think this will be a first down as the running back, Dane Sittred, pushes it ahead to the 39. And, yeah, that was about a 5-yard pickup. So 11 yards on 3 carries for Sittred. I'm hoping I'm pronouncing that right.
You are. I asked the coaches before the game, at least that the coaches knew the right pronunciation.
And now the Broncos will jump. They're claiming that
68.
Emery also jumped, and it should be a false start. We'll see the call. Flags obviously all over the field. Clock will stop with 7:39 to go in this first quarter. Looks like they're going to move it back on San Juan. So it was offside on the Broncos defense, and a 5-yard penalty. Pushes the ball across the 40 to the 44-yard line. Parker Snyder for San Juan already up to 109 yards passing here in this first quarter. Wade Stilson trying to answer on this, their second possession, and he missiles that ahead, but it's going to be a little low on the ground. Are they going to say that's a catch? That was a catch, apparently down to the 45-yard line.
Deacon Mangum.
So let's see, that's about a 13-yard pass and the longest for Wade Stilson and Deacon Mangum tonight as they continue to combo with each other here. 21 yards between the two of them. And Wade Stilson is up to, or is 3 of 3 to start the night. And now the running back, Sittred, will take the handoff, and he's hit immediately. He's going to wrestle on some second effort across for a couple yards. And it's Trace Bennett on the stop for San Juan. But a couple hard-earned yards right there for Sittred, and he's up to 13 on 4 carries.
A nice, well-timed blitz by the defense there by Coach Bowering to get some of the momentum stopped. He gets 2 yards, but a great blitz right there.
So 2nd down and 8 for Emery as they're in San Juan territory for the first time tonight, and they'll pass to the right side. Stilson connects with his man over on the far side. It's going to be a pickup of 10. Let me see, is that 23 on the reception? And so that, I don't have, yes, that's Porter Herdsman, and a 10-yard catch for Herdsman, the junior. And that's really rare, Art. This team is filled with seniors.
Yeah, and a great recognition there by the quarterback and the receiver from Emery to realize that the defensive backs were 10 yards off the ball. That's a pitch and catch all day.
Stilson will go to the air again, this time to the flat. They set up a wide receiver screen, and it's going to work for a few yards down around the 30 of San Juan. Going to be a pickup of 4 yards for the Spartans. And it looked like number 4, Luke Justice, with his first catch of the night.
Yeah,
Oh, actually, they're going to give him 6. My apologies.
Bethay in there on the tackle for the Broncos.
So Emery now moving the ball down the field. 6:15 to go in the opening quarter. Clock has stopped since Justice went out of bounds on that play. 13-0 for San Juan. Here's Stilson taking the snap in the shotgun. Hands off to Sittred. And the Broncos have semi-solved the running game here early on. But obviously, like you always say, Art, that sets up those play-action passes and different things like that. But a short game for Sittred here is going to bring up a 3rd down and 4.
Yeah, they got J.D. Palmer playing the line right there, trying to get a little quickness on that front 5, that 4-man line that Coach Brown's running, and he's just getting around his guy, beating him all day. So if he can keep that up and make those initial hits at the line of scrimmage, they're going to have a hard time running the ball on him.
Stilson's going to roll out from the shotgun. He's got pressure in Jake Ivins, and that forced a throw to the right side. It is complete, but for only a couple yards over there to Luke Justice. So that will bring up a 4th down and short. My guess is they're in 4-down territory right here.
I would be, anytime you're on the opposing side, 30-yard line, going into the end zone, you're going to, unless you have a tremendous field goal kicker, you're going to go for it. But Brandon Bethea, way to get over there and secure it, not let him get extra yards and push him out of bounds on the tackle for the Broncos, because that could have went for some big yards.
And I failed to mention the head coach, John Fiamalo, for Emery. And so a little hard count here for Emery, trying to get San Juan to jump offside, and now they'll be forced to call a timeout on 4th down. This coming with 5:38 to go in the opening quarter and trailing the San Juan Broncos 13-0. We'll take a break ourselves. We'll be back out following this Emery timeout. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights live from San Juan High School on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Tonight, Emery following their timeout, going for it on 4th down here from the San Juan 30. It's a pitch to Sitred, and he is hammered at the line of scrimmage. The Broncos are going to stand tall and get a stop here. It's number 34 on the tackle, Jordan Duke. What a play by the San Juan D, and that turns the ball over on downs.
Yeah, Emery takes number 4 in motion. They're hoping to shift that linebacker core out of the running lane. They pull a guard to the hole, but San Juan's defense holds tough. They don't bite on the motion. They send one backer out, and the defensive line has been fantastic so far at stopping those run games.
So Emery on their first penetration into San Juan territory, unable to finish the drive here. The Broncos get the football back inside their own 30, but flags fly here on 1st down, and likely this is going to be a 5-yarder against San Juan on a false start here.
I'm going to say that
a strange signal. He
I
gave
didn't
the
watch
offside signal, but
well, looking at my replay that I have advantage of, it looks like 53 lined up. He lined up too far in front.
lined up in the
line of
neutral zone.
scrimmage.
That's what it was.
So the right tackle for San Juan just a little too far forward.
I'm so used to seeing that signal against defenses, but in this case against the offense. So 1st down and 15. Snyder throws complete to Brigham Nielsen, left side. They're going to get that yardage back and a lot more across the 40, down near the 45 on a pickup of 22 yards. And Parker Snyder has hardly thrown anything under 20 yards tonight. He is 6 of 6 now with 131 yards passing following that completion. And the Broncos right back at it. Up the middle they come. And that's going to be another 12-yard pickup and a 1st down for San Juan as Zach Conway gets the carry. And so Conway with his biggest run of the night makes it a 1st and 10, and already San Juan back in Emery's territory once again as the Broncos just marching down the field. Now Snyder slightly overthrows Javen Montella over here on the near side at the Emery 20, and that will be the first incompletion of the night for the San Juan senior quarterback.
Yeah, and San Juan's just so effective at wearing you down as your defense. You already see defensive players out there with their hands on their hips. They're just so effective at keeping the offense on the field and moving down the field at a high pace that it just wears defenses down. It's hard in those trenches.
And they're quickly right back at it again. Parker Snyder keeps it himself this time, and he's going to rumble ahead 10 yards just like that. Really close to moving the chains. Looks like they'll give him 9, so comes up a yard shy of the 1st down. But he's already got 35 yards rushing on 4 carries. And the Broncos have a 3rd down and 1 at the Emery 34-yard line. I tell you, I miss those sport turf fields where we could easily see the yardage markers.
I'll tell you, that last run, Isaac Warner picked up the blitz, shoved him to the outside, and that's what helps Parker get the yardage.
And speaking of Parker, he finds Jake Ivins wide open in the middle, and that completion's going to go down inside the 15 to the 13. Wow.
Again, just a receiver willing to go across the middle. That's a dangerous route for receivers because you never know who's going to be in that zone or what they're playing man. And so you go across the middle, you're sacrificing yourself for your team, and Parker just hits him on the money.
And Snyder will hand off this time to Conway. Conway trying to bust it to the outside. He does. Now he follows his blockers down to the goal line, tucks it in. A flag on the field, though, but he does tuck it inside the pylon but I'm guessing this is coming back on a hold over here on the sideline right around the 5-yard line. So an excellent run again for Conway as he does a great job following his blocks, but apparently one of those was an illegal block. So,
well, it's so hard as a receiver. You get out there on your defensive back, and you're taught to get inside, and you can hold a little. You can grab onto that jersey. But what happens is when that defensive back turns his body and you're pulling on that jersey, that's when you're going to get the flag every time. So you got to learn to let go when he turns.
I'm not sure why it's first down from the original line of scrimmage here, but Conway will take it on first, this time off left tackle, and he takes a big hit but just keeps plowing ahead, and he picks up 7 yards just like that for San Juan.
And Konzak, he sees the linebacker coming there, and the lineman, and linebacker, and he doesn't even hesitate. He slows down just enough to lower his shoulder. It's like, you're going to hit me, I'm going to hit you first.
That was
and
like
just plows him over.
That was like two walls coming together right there. As Conway will not take the handoff, Parker Snyder keeps it himself, rumbles down to the goal line. Is he in? Touchdown, San Juan. As Snyder keeps it himself from 6 yards out and rumbles it right up the middle into the end zone for the Broncos' 3rd touchdown of the night. And for Snyder, I'm having trouble keeping up with the stats here tonight, Art. I know you like that. When I'm struggling, my brain's exploding over here because I tell you, these Broncos are going hurry up, and they are scoring at will. And they're also going to go for 2 here with 3:40 left in the opening quarter. It's the opening quarter, and Parker Snyder finds a wide open Jake Ivins for the 2-point conversion. And San Juan leads it 21-0. 3:40 still to go in the opening quarter. We'll take a break and come back out to the San Juan High School football field. Homecoming night here tonight in Blanding. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com as the Broncos kick it away. And Emery attempting to return it here. They won't quite get to their own 20. And once again on the return, Jackson Johnson. And they will start at their own 18-yard line with 3:36 to go in the opening quarter that now sees San Juan up by 3 touchdowns full, 21-0.
Yeah, and had a little problem. That ball came out. It kind of squibbed down the field. Had a little problem trying to pick it up. And then when he does, he tries to get ahead of steam, but Jagger Neves is right there to get a shoelace tackle.
So we'll see if the Emery Spartans can get the ball moving down the field again and finish a drive tonight. But right now, San Juan is giving them all they can handle, that's for sure. Here's a pass over the middle, incomplete, but a late flag comes in. So this is probably going to be pass interference against San Juan. And they say that, I guess it was Trace Bennett there who may have had a handful. No, I guess it was not Trace Bennett. It was, well, I don't know if we want to call people out, but Jordan Duke, I think, is going to be whistled for the interference here. So this will be a 15-yard penalty. No, I guess it was of the 10-yard variety.
They're probably calling it holding.
Okay.
Not PI.
And a first down, though. It does move the chains. So Emery is out to their own 28. As Stilson will hand off to Citrid, and he is going to get a short gain, a yard, maybe 2, off right guard, and got the ball to the 30-yard line.
Justice Black's out there, and I love watching that kid play. Good to see him back on the field.
Yeah, and if you're just joining us, Emery is missing one of their big receivers in Matt Olson. He's also run the ball a little bit, so kind of curious what it might have been like with him in the roster tonight. But both teams have some injuries, that's for sure. But nice to see Black back in here. Here's Citrid again on another short carry off left tackle. The Broncos doing a good job sealing it up in the middle there. But Citrid a couple short gains here, 2 yards and now about 3. maybe 4, so it's going to be third down and 4 for Emery.
As Bill Boyle would say, a whole herd of Broncos on that tackle.
That's right. 8 carries and just 20 yards for Dane Citrid, the senior, so far. And a big third down again for Emery here with 2.5 minutes to go in the opening quarter. And they find themselves down by 3 scores already in this one. This has been an offensive explosion for San Juan. They have made no mistake. They're not messing around here in the early stages against Emery. Here's Stilson finding his man out near midfield for a big connection here. This is going to be a 15-yard pass, the biggest of the night, and it's complete to number 6, Mason Stilson, his first catch of the night, so that's going to move the chains for the Spartans.
Yeah, and a good little route there by Stilson to get himself open. He's going against San Juan's number 1 defender in Parker, and he's just able to find the space, and his quarterback's able to sit in the pocket because there was a heck of a rush going on by the Bronco defense. But a kudos to that Emery offensive line for holding that line and letting him make his read.
And Stilson has not thrown an incomplete pass tonight. And he's going to connect for another one here. This is almost a 10-yard pass. It looks like it will be. And was that caught by the running back out of the backfield or no? That must have been number 12.
Yes.
Deacon Mangum on the catch. And a 10-yard reception. So he's up to 31 yards receiving. And Stilson now 64 yards passing. As he is pressured in the pocket but stays in there and now just throws the ball away over here on the San Juan sideline for his first incompletion of the night.
And you sense some urgency out of Emery already in the first quarter, down 21-0, as they're going empty set, trips left, doubles right. They don't have any running back in there right now. They're trying to move the ball down the field, find some open space. Good job by San Juan's defense there to kind of clog all those passing lanes up, and a good job by the quarterback to just throw that out of bounds and come back to the line of scrimmage and play another down.
Yeah, not a late down here, so second down and 10 for Emery. That's that senior smarts right there, that veteran smarts for Stilson. We know he's a good quarterback, and he just looks comfortable in there all the time. This time he's going to do a short pitch here in the backfield to Citrid, and Citrid will be wrapped up for a loss, a yard behind the line of scrimmage. Nice open field tackle by Trace Bennett in the backfield, and that will force a third down and 11 for Emery.
And you're a workhorse running back when you've got big old elbow pads on. You're used to getting in there and running in those A and B gaps, hitting those big old hog mollies on the defensive line because you want to protect those elbows.
Hey, that's my word. I like that. Third down for Emery. You can hear it here on the PA as they try to get the crowd into it. Stilson will drop back wearing Peyton Manning's number. Rolls out, now down to the sideline, throws along the sideline into traffic, and that was complete. What a pass and a catch for 13 yards, and the reception by number 23, Porter Herdsman. But there is a flag down over on the far sideline. So we'll have to wait and see what the ruling is here.
I'd be interested to see if he went out of bounds.
And then came back in and was the first to touch, you're saying?
I don't know why that.
The flag is on the sideline over there.
Right on the sideline,
at the point of the catch. If it stands, it's a 13-yard completion and a first down inside the San Juan 20. But no, is that illegal touching? In which case that would be what your thought was, that he may have stepped out and then been the first to come back on the field and touch the football. And so that's a tough break for Emery. That, instead of being a first down inside the San Juan 20, that ball's moved all the way back out to the 45, and they'll replay third down. So third down and 16 here for Emery.
And they're only 1 of 4 so far on third down. So San Juan's done a good job at this point in the game, holding them on third downs.
And I guess it's a loss of down. They've got fourth down showing. So fourth down and 16. My apologies on not knowing the rule there. Stilson will roll out, has a little time, guns it over the middle and had a man. What an effort, but the pass is incomplete. That was nearly a diving circus catch down at the 10. That ball was thrown well, and the only man who could have caught that ball was Herdsman, but he's just not able to haul it in.
It was in his hands too.
That would have been an exciting catch and a big first down for Emery, but instead it's a turnover on downs. The Broncos get another stop, and they'll start from their own 45. Wow.
Talk about some luck of fortune there for the Bronco defense, because Man, if he holds on to that ball, that's he laid himself out for that too. That was
He
not
did.
an easy catch. So
He did.
he drops it, yes, but that's a hard catch to make, and he had it, hits the ground, he drops it, but man, Emery aired it out.
And now the Broncos have another chance to continue adding to this lead. The offense has been unstoppable against this Emery defense so far. They've just easily marched it down the field. This time they'll go to the ground, and Zach Conway gets 3. Close to midfield, 2nd down and 7 for San Juan.
They're going to try to get a play off here, 22 seconds left on the clock.
And we know they've got no problem with that. They may get 2 off here. We'll see. Zach Conway will take a pass out of the backfield, and he will step out of bounds right near the marker. And, oh, man, there's a late flag here, and Conway looks like he may be shaken up as he took a late hit on the sideline. So that's interesting. His counterpart, the running back for the Emery Spartans, Dane Citrid, gets a free lick in here, but he will get a personal foul, it looks like, so this will be a 1st down.
And I'm going to tell you, if there's one kid on that San Juan team you don't want to make mad and poke the bear, it's going to be Zach Conway, because I guarantee you he's going to run harder, faster, and with more oomph now. And if he sees what number is
24.
24.
Yeah, he won't forget that.
If he sees him, he's going to run right through and over that kid, and so you don't want to poke old Zach.
Wow, so a mental mistake by Emery, and now San Juan has the ball at the Spartan 30, already with a 21-0 lead, 13 seconds left in this quarter. And like I said, they'll at least get 2 off. They may get 3 off here, Art. We'll see. Snyder's going to throw toward the goal line. Jake Ivins is absolutely wide open, and the Broncos will score their 4th touchdown of the night. It's a 30-yard pass, and the 3rd touchdown pass for Parker Snyder tonight, and the 1st touchdown reception for Jake Ivins this evening. Wow, they made that look easy.
Yeah, Jake was wide open. There was definitely a blown coverage on that, as Jake is just in space, no one around him. Parker's able to find him, get that. But the play before that, Jake makes a heck of a block down here to spring Zach out on that run, just all over the field. I tell you, that kid, Ivins, he's a coach's dream at slot.
And I'm guessing we've got Trip Palmer out here attempting again. Yes, indeed. And the kick is no good. Slides wide left. So the score is going to remain 27-0. 7 seconds remaining still in this 1st quarter. If Emery makes a mistake on this kickoff, there's a chance the Broncos could get the ball back and score again the way this thing's going.
Well, and I said, you don't want to poke the bear there with Zach, but you also don't want to fire up San Juan's coaching staff, because they will keep the foot on the pedal and they will run that score if they get the chance. So you got to play with a little, calmness. You can't be a little irrational on the sidelines, and you got to pull up. I know you want to hit somebody, but when you get to the sidelines as a player, you got to learn, pull up, play another down. Don't put your team in a hole. Don't give the other team the advantage, and just keep digging, just not a heads-up play.
Well, the Broncos have come out on fire tonight in front of this homecoming crowd, and already 1 touchdown away from earning a second-half running clock, 27-0. Still 7 seconds to go in the opening quarter here tonight. I mean, I expected the Broncos to be firing on all cylinders, but I don't know if I expected it to be 27-0 in the 1st quarter.
Yeah, but if you remember last year in the second half, Emery came back
That's
from a
right.
deficit.
That's right.
You can't go to sleep on them just yet.
Absolutely. So here is San Juan kicking the ball away for the 4th time tonight, and it'll be returned, and a decent return in traffic and still on his feet. And now, I thought that was the ball carrier coming out in the crowd. He's finally brought down at the 32, and that's the way the 1st quarter will end. It's a 4-touchdown lead for San Juan, 27-0. We'll take a break. When we come back, Emery's going to be starting from their own 31. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
That reunion. Oh, man. The stupid cord. Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureatpalmer.com. Back live to San Juan High School. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureatpalmer.com as we're underway in the second quarter. The ball is down. I think the ball was on the turf after a completion over there on the far side. I could be wrong. It looks like the catch was made momentarily by Mason Stilson.
You got an injured player down over there. I think Mason was just number 6, just trying to get extra yardage on the play. But we do have a Emery Spartan down on the sideline over there being attended to.
That'll give me a chance to actually add up some stats here. That's merciful for me. After back-to-back incompletions, Wade Stilson completes a 3-yarder there to Mason Stilson. And I don't know if those kids are brothers. I guess they wouldn't be since they're both seniors, maybe cousins. And so Stilson is now 9 of 11 on the night, 67 yards passing. Just in comparison, San Juan's Parker Snyder is 8 of 9 tonight for 181 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, Snyder's already having a banner night here tonight. Second down and 7 for Emery as they've got the ball at their own 35 and a man in motion. And now Stilson takes the snap and the shotgun. Right up the middle they come with Citrid on the run. And he'll hammer it out for another 3 for the Spartans. And it's just hard, short yardage right now for Emery. 22 yards on 10 carries for Dane Citrid after that carry. And a 3rd down and 3 for Emery. And they'll bring it out in the shotgun with trips to the right. One-man split left. Citrid in the backfield with Stilson. Stilson is pressured, and he'll be sacked back at the 30.
Now he gets sacked by Jake Ivins, number 3, but Jayton Knight, number 7, comes through there untouched and gets his hands on the quarterback, comes around him, and Jake's there to help clean up. But Jayton Knight, man, that cannon hasn't worked since the first touchdown. I think they just shot him out of the cannon because he came through that line of scrimmage like a bull.
Yeah, apparently he's been clogging it up because he just came shooting out of it right there. But that's a loss of 8 and the first official run for Wade Stilson on the night. And it makes it 4th and 11, and the Spartans are going to be forced to punt the ball again. It was nearly blocked. Now it'll take a Spartan roll down to the sideline and go out of bounds at the 23. So a decent kick for Wade Stilson, but again, the San Juan defense stands strong and stops the Spartans, keeps them off the board, and the Broncos continue to lead here, 27-0, and we are not quite 2 minutes into this second quarter. So the Broncos up by 4 TDs. If they score here and can keep Emery off the board for the remainder of this first half, they'd be in a running clock situation already, but obviously, we don't want to count any chickens before they hatch. The Bronco offense back out on the field, getting ready to take care of business once again. Snyder throws to the near side, complete to Brigham Nielsen, and this will pick up a quick 7 yards for the Broncos.
Nice little pass route there by San Juan. Nice way to start the drive, get some rhythm, pick up some big yards. 2nd down and 4.
That's Nielsen's 4th catch. He's up to 66 yards. As they come up the middle, just attacking up the middle with Conway. And you can tell Conway bouncing back from that late hit, comes in with some strength and picks up, 5. That's going to be 6-7 yards on that run. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say 6, so he's up to 42 unofficial yards tonight on 6 carries, averaging 7 yards a carry. And now the Broncos go hurry up. Did he throw to him this time? Zach Conway out of the backfield. And we'll get a chance to see the replay, I think. No, he just handed it off, and Conway goes to the outside over there and picks up a quick 6 yards 7, and again, actually with the spot. Sorry, Art.
Again, number 3 out there, Jake Ivins. You know, he makes a huge block to spring that run.
Conway this time, Parker Snyder fakes to him. Now the pump fake, and Snyder will keep it himself off left tackle, and he's going to rumble ahead for another San Juan first down. And that is a pickup of another 6. The Broncos just rattling it off 6 yards by 6 yards here each play.
Yeah, he wanted to throw the ball, but big number 83 for Emery, gets his hands up in the air, and so Parker does the smartest thing he can do, pull it down and get positive yards.
And they're already into Emery territory, and again, it's Conway on the handoff, and he'll get a quick 7 once again for the Broncos. And down to the Emery 38. So the Broncos just showing no signs of slowing down offensively here in this one.
No, and they never do, and that's kind of like their signature. You know, they like to go fast and they like to go quick, and their players eat that up.
Snyder will fake to Conway this time. Passes to the left side. Jake Ivins is there. Makes the catch, and he's going to spin down inside the 20 as he's slung out of bounds. And that's another big gain for the Broncos. I think that's, 22 yards? Around 22 yards for San Juan on the completion. Wow.
Brigham Nelson out there with a nice block to spring that around the outside edge for the Broncos.
And they continue to go hurry up. Emery doesn't even have a chance to breathe, and this time it's Trace Bennett taking a handoff. And he's going to go down inside the 5 for San Juan. It'll be 1st and goal as they just keep blowing up this Emery defense.
Good for Trace. That kid is like Coach talked about last week, he's just a workhorse out there from that tight end position, always doing the little things, getting those blocks, setting the edge. Love to see him get in the game plan.
Snyder's going to keep it himself on a play action, gets to the outside, and he keeps his feet in bounds and dives into the end zone. I believe it's a touchdown. They're going to rule him out at the 2, but I don't think he ever stepped out. Let's take a look at the replay.
He did a good job pausing there. And
yeah, he does stop. Oh, the angle may not be the best right there for us on the replay, but I think he did an athletic job to stay in bounds, but they rule him out. So the Broncos will have another shot at it.
5 Emery players right there, too, trying to get him down.
Yep. I think they're going to – are they ruling him? Where'd they spot the ball? On the 1? There's a flag down on the play, actually. So maybe the play wouldn't have counted anyway. So there's a hold back near the middle of the field, I guess. So that was way away from the play. What do we have here?
Personal foul.
Wow. So that's a mistake by San Juan. Mental mistake is going to push them all the way back out to their own to the Emery 17. And so the Broncos will have a 1st and goal from the 17. 8:32 to go in this first half. The Broncos up 27-0, trying for their 5th touchdown of the night. Parker Snyder fakes to the left on a pass. Now throws back to the right to Conway, and he's got a lot of room, and he's going to miss a tackle and rumble into the end zone for a San Juan touchdown. And a beautifully designed play as they faked left and went back to the right. Touchdown, San Juan.
All set up by Javen Montella out there, number 22. He sets the block on that defensive back, which allows Zach to cut inside. I've been really impressed this first half at the blocking downfield by San Juan receivers. Anytime you get a receiver that turns into a blocker, you have to – sometimes you question that because we saw holding once. But overall, their receivers have done a fantastic job blocking downfield for their running backs.
How many times, Art, have we seen the Broncos get a penalty called against them or something has gone bad for them and they just score on the very next play? It happens all the time.
It can be 2nd and 30 and they'll go get 45, on one play. So, yeah, they're not – I don't think Coach Christian's phased by the yardage. He's phased by how to get to the end zone.
Well, they go with a standard PAT here, and Trip Palmer adds it as he kicks it through. So 34-0 now for the San Juan Broncos with 8:25 still left in this first half. So the Broncos are on the verge of earning a second-half running clock against an Emery Spartan team that took them to the wire in the state semifinals last year. Do you think they maybe remember that game last year? I think maybe they remember that.
Oh, I think they remember it, and I think they remember how that second half kind of went. And I think any amount of distance that Coach Christian can put between them and that second half, he's going to do that. Because coaches have long memories. They remember, what happened last year. They remember that they came back and made a game out of it in the fourth quarter. So I guarantee you they don't want that to happen here tonight at homecoming.
Well, my brain is too small. I'm going to have some a calculator to add up some of these stats here because Parker Snyder is already over 200 yards passing here tonight as Emery returns the kick across their own 30 to the 31. But this San Juan offense and defense is firing on all cylinders here tonight. Up 34-0 in the homecoming game this season. I'd say the alternate uniforms maybe are boding well for them here tonight.
Yeah, they're doing fantastic. I mean, They have built up 35 yards of penalties so far, which no coach wants to see, but they've overcome that. So
1st and 10 for Emery, starting at their own 32. And Wade Stilson going to try to get this offense in gear here. Throws to the left side, and that was in a bit of a bunch of traffic over on the far side, and it's number 2 on the catch. And I'm not sure. Oh, wait, I'm looking at the wrong roster. Yeah, I'm not sure who that is. Number 2.
Rhett Peterson.
Hey, I like that kid's name. Gets a 7-yard catch. So second down and 3 for Emery on a 7-yard pickup. And now they'll go to Citrud on the ground, and he just has had no luck, no fortune up the middle on this San Juan D. Off right guard, he's smushed at the line of scrimmage and brought down again. They do give him a yard or 2 on the carry here, though.
Hit immediately by Trace Bennett, and Trace is just a stud there at backer.
So third down for Emery once again, and now a bit of an awkward start here that may end up being a false start on Emery. Looks like that's what it's going to be. And so just as they were within a yard of moving the chains here on third down, they're going to go back 5, and it'll be third down and 8. Third down and 7 actually looks like with the spot here.
And they're only 1 of 6 on third down so far, so third down has not been their friend. San Juan's been able to get off the field, make them punt the ball, and go out and go to work. So Emery, if they want to get going and stop the bleeding, they really need to get this third down. They really need to get a good established drive before halftime.
Yeah, the Emery defense has been on the field the entire game just about. The offense has really had no opportunity to establish anything. And Stilson will roll out to his right, throws back against his body, incomplete. Nice coverage down here by, was that Bethea? Nope. Yeah, it was Bethea. And so that breaks it up and makes it a fourth down and 7 for Emery. It is 74 yards passing on the night so far, but with that incompletion, Wade Stilson falls to 10 of 13 on the night, and he will step back in the formation and be forced to punt the ball away again on fourth down on his own side of midfield. He's done a good job trying to kick that ball away from Bethea, but Bethea gets over there and scoops it, and he'll return it down the sideline. Slips a couple tackles, but just ran out of room, but he is going to return it across the 35 to the 36. So the Broncos, once again, like they have all game, will have excellent starting field position, and really this game has largely been played on the Emery side of midfield.
You say excellent starting field position. They could start on the 1 yard line and still go 99 yards, in 30 seconds or less. So.
If it were allowable by the rules, they could start back at the back line at the end of their end zone. And
yeah, field position has not been a factor for San Juan
not
this
at
year.
all, not at all, and especially in this game. Still 7:03 to go in the half. The Broncos up 34-0. The offense has been firing on all cylinders. So has the defense. Conway will rumble ahead off left guard here for a couple yards. I think that may be the shortest gain all night right there for this offense.
And if you're Emery's defense, you're happy with that. You had 4 down linemen, one Mike backer. You've only got 5 guys in the box, and you're able to only give up 2 yards. So good job by the Emery defense to get that stop on Zach. Like you said, probably the shortest one he's had all night.
I just finally had an opportunity to add it up. It's 227 yards passing for Parker Snyder so far on this game. He's going to keep it himself on a little play action, run pass option, and he'll go ahead for 9 yards right there and move the chains for San Juan up near midfield once again.
And that whole thing's predicated off the defensive end. What guy he takes. Does he come wide outside to take the running back? If he does, Parker's going to pull that and get upfield. If he takes Parker, he's going to hand it off.
And he will hand it off this time to Zach Conway. Conway gets the outside on the far side of the field. And it looks like he's going to pick up about 7. He had guys carrying those sticks running for cover over there. But we do, I think, have some laundry out on the field. And that's back at the line of scrimmage for San Juan. So this will likely be coming back.
Yeah, that was a designed run. That wasn't an RPO. That's sometimes they're going to run those RPOs where they're going to give Parker the benefit to read the situation. Sometimes coach just wants him to give that ball. And what was the call?
Block in the
block
back,
in the
I guess.
back. Okay.
Here, maybe we'll wait on this so I don't throw gear out the window here. I'm going to end up opening the window here, I think, at some point. But we might wait till halftime. 6:12 to go in this first half. And, boy, they just run the clock right as the Broncos snap the ball. And who does this pass go to? Is that Javen Montella? No, Trace Bennett taking the pass. And he's going to pick up a quick 13 yards just like that.
Nice little route from his tight end position. They're so used to him staying in and blocking for the run game that you can slip him out like that.
240 yards passing now for Snyder, and he wants more as he airs it out down the left sideline, but that one eludes Brigham Nielsen at the 20 and falls incomplete out of bounds. It will be 3rd down and 7, maybe about 6 for the Broncos right near midfield. So a big 3rd down for San Juan. Is this their first 3rd down of the night? Just their 2nd.
And Brigham kind of got tied up down there in his route. If he would have had that clean and there was no PI at all, just what happens in football, and he gets turned around and he's not able to get up the field where he needs to be for that completion.
So here are the Broncos on 3rd down, and Snyder has a pass deflected, but it still finds its way to Conway, and now Zach Conway has some room, and he hammers a man at the 25 and goes down near the 20 on a big pitch and catch there for the Broncos. From the 48, that's a, 5, 10, 15.
And again, you have Brigham Nelson and Jake Ivins down there blocking in their wide receiver position and just able to stay in front of their guy and do what they need to do to get a run.
That was a 25-yard pass, or unofficially 25 yards, and now Brigham Nielsen will receive a pass. And I'm not sure, we got a flag on this play, so it's going to be coming back.
This was a great pull here by 2 of the Bronco linemen as they get out here, and so all 4 of them, it's a screen set up wide receiver. And I'm not sure what the call is going to be. It looks like he's going to say illegal block in the back is what I'm gathering.
So that play will come back, and this is going to be a 1st down and long for the Broncos. Originally starting at the Emery 24 or thereabouts. It's really tough to see the lines over there. So blocking the back on San Juan. So this will be knocked back 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. And it'll be 1st down and 20 for San Juan. They'll have to get down inside the 14 to move the chains.
Anytime you get outside the tackle box and a guy turns his back to you, you cannot hit him. You got to see, and I didn't see the play, so I don't know, but the ref obviously thought it was.
And actually looks like they've ruled it a spot foul. So some of that play probably counted. That's why my stats always stay unofficial. But a quick 5 yards for Parker Snyder off left guard here on the ground.
Like I was saying, but when you're inside that tackle box, the guy turns his back to you, you can stay engaged and still be blocking him. That rule does not apply inside the tackle box, only when you get outside the tackle box. So those linemen get down there, they pull on those screens, and that guy, you get engaged and he turns and you push him, then you're going to get a block in the back call. In the tackle box, you can do that. Outside, you can't.
So 2nd down and now 8, maybe 7 for San Juan. On the 21, and a man wide open again, and it's Jake Ivins for his 2nd touchdown catch. And Art, I'm not sure why they're not covering him, but that's a 21-yard strike from Parker Snyder to Jake Ivins as he finds himself wide open again.
Yeah, and Jake was the inside slot in the trips right formation as they were empty set, and he just comes across the middle on a post route, and no one goes with him. The Mike backer stays in his up zone. They're running a zone defense, but the 3 guys on the far side of the field, no one covers that middle zone for Emery, and Jake's just wide open.
It is now, give me just a second, 286 yards passing for Parker Snyder. He is 14 of 16.
The PAT's no good.
5 touchdown passes, pardon me. I mean, it has just been an absolute onslaught here in this first half for Parker Snyder and the Bronco offense. He's just slung it all over the field. 2nd touchdown catch for Jake Ivins. He's up to 111 yards receiving now. Incredible first half for the San Juan Broncos, who have come out here with a purpose tonight in front of their homecoming crowd.
Yeah, and that's just a defensive breakdown by the Emery Spartans of someone not knowing his position or where he should go in his zone defense. And that's just Jake running his route like he does, and Parker eyes downfield, able to find the crease. And they have hooked up like that a few times tonight. And Jake has really been crisp on his route running and finding those holes. And that wasn't hard to find that one because no one went with him. But those are the hardest passes to catch, too, when you're wide open, man.
Yeah.
And kudos to Jake for bringing that ball in and then scoring touchdowns.
So the Broncos will kick it away again. And Emery's going to field that at their own 10. And this will be returned down the far side of the field on the left side. Not a huge return, but out up near the 24, 25-yard line. And the Broncos are pumped as they come off the field, the kick coverage team. Excited about their job that time. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com is brought to you in part by Red Mechanical tonight, San Juan Building Supply, Flights Gymnastics, Northern Electric, Red Mesa Home Health, Emery Telecom, Napa Motor Parts, Creative Floors, and the San Juan School District CTE programs. 4:26 to go in the first half. And the Broncos are up 40-0 here in front of the homecoming crowd. Wade Stilson stands in there and throws a missile down the middle of the field and connects with his man. And that will be complete to Deacon Mangum. And let's see, I'm going to say that was a 28-yard pass. And a first down, obviously, for Emery as they get across midfield into San Juan territory again. I don't know how many first downs that is, Art. I know it hasn't been a lot for Emery, but that was a big one as you can kind of maybe just see the frustration as Stilson just hammered him up the middle of the field on the gun there.
According to my stats, 7 first downs.
Okay,
for
that's,
Emery.
that's more than I thought. He connects for 5 yards here with Luke Justice. So back-to-back completions.
And I think you're going to see them let their quarterback go to work here a little bit. If you're Emery's coaching staff, nothing to lose here, 40-0. Let the kid do what he does best.
And he throws to the left side into traffic. Little wide receiver screen over there. Tried to get some blocking right at the sticks. That the pass is complete, and that man knocked down over there. I didn't see who caught that football. Let's see if I can figure that out. Number 4 making the catch, Luke Justice. So that was a pickup of about 4, we'll say. And it will be 3rd down and 1. Emery Spartans to the line of scrimmage. Stilson will hand off, and the running back not getting it done right here. Let's see, the spot will be a little bit generous. I'm not sure who was number 22 carrying that time.
This is going to be, San Juan did a great job of getting there, and looking at the replay, they tackled him going backwards and sideways. Number 22 was the carrier.
Jackson Johnson, that's his first carry tonight.
Generous spot for sure. So, Emery picking up a first down here.
Yeah, he did not hit the hole that time with much strength.
And let's see what they got. Now they're in good position.
Yeah, they gave him 2 yards and a first down. I thought that was very generous, but that's all right. Emery needs it. And now they're going to get to Stilson again as he's unable to find anybody open downfield. And they will technically sack him for a loss of 1 yard here. He was trying to get back to the line of scrimmage.
And we got an Emery kid slow to get up, one of their linemen.
And he is up under his own power, so that's good to see. That's number 56, Derek Jensen, who will go off to the sideline under his own power.
And the Broncos have done a great job at closing down those running lanes once their running backs have got the ball. Those linemen have found the gaps, closed them. Those backers have filled them, and they're able to make some good stops. And they're not really letting them have anything going in the running game so far, but they've been able to, this drive, get some of the passing game going.
So 2nd down and 10 for the Spartans. And this pass is incomplete. They were trying to set up the screen to Jackson Johnson again. So maybe Dane Citrid is sitting now at this point as they've got Jackson Johnson in doing the running, and they tried to get the screen set up to him, but the pass falls incomplete.
And I'll tell you, they had one guy to beat if he able to complete that screen. Trace Bennett read it. He read it a little late, but he read it. He tries to flow over there. Emery does have a big lineman over there ready to make a block, but unfortunately just can't bring that pass in. It was way low.
So it does bring up a 3rd down and 10, and here's Stilson throwing to the right side as a man wide open, and that man did not want to get hit. He goes down to the turf. It is close to a first down. It does look like they'll move the chains. A 10-yard completion for Wade Stilson to Porter Herdsman.
Yeah, and he just found the space in the zone. San Juan's running a zone coverage, and he just ran out there, found that space, and he was just standing there. He stopped, he turned around, gave his quarterback a big target to hit, and his quarterback's able to find him.
So 1st and 10 as Emery's got something going here. They've got the ball just inside the San Juan 30, and now this pass through the fingers of the intended receiver over the middle, Deacon Mankum, and incomplete. So that will stop the clock with 1:45 left in the first half. And a 2nd down and 10 for Emery. They've got the ball, I believe, at the 28.
And this is where I would look to see what Coach Bobby Bowering dials up here. This would be a great spot for one of his classic blitz packages to run here because they're giving the quarterback way too much time.
And typically they have been getting to Stilson tonight, so we'll see what they draw up. Stilson has time, throws to the end zone and just overthrown. The intended man had a step on the defender, and the pass incomplete in the end zone brings up a 3rd down and 10, but it does stop the clock with 1:39 to go in this first half.
Yeah, unfortunate for San Juan because their defender got turned around, lost the receiver, and he had a step on him. If that ball had better placement, they're looking at 6 for Emery right here.
And that was intended for Rhett Peterson. I have to take any opportunity I can to say that name, Art.
San Juan still going with the 3-down lineman and just not getting a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
And Stilson has time to throw and does complete it over on the far side. And now that man is in open space over there. I think that's number 6. They're going to whistle the play down while he's still standing. It is a first down. That'll go down to the 13-yard line. So that is a 15-yard pickup on the pass. And I believe it was Mason Stilson on the catch. Give him 33 yards and now 136 yards passing for Wade Stilson, who's 15 of 20. And Stilson will pass again, complete on the far side. And this time the man who makes the catch is driven out of bounds. And so that'll stop the clock with 1:15 to go. 56 on the catch.
Number 6.
Number 6, yes. I knew that. I just hadn't said it yet. And it's a pickup of, looks like they gave him 8 on that catch. It's tougher and tougher to see the lines when they get down on that side of the field for me.
See, that's what happens when you give Stilson time in the pocket.
Yeah.
He is a very good pocket passer, and he's very good at moving the ball and finding an open receiver. So San Juan's got to get some pressure on him.
Yeah, and look out, because Emery's looking to make this a non-running clock in the second half with the score here. Stilson will throw back against his body, and that ball almost went through the uprights and out the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Clock stops with 54 seconds left. It is a 3rd down and 3. They could move the chains at the San Juan 4.
Again, 3rd down has not been their friend this game. Only 3 of 10 so far. So
San Juan looking for a big stop here to try to get this, start the second half with a running clock. They're up 40-0 as we speak, but a lot of time still left for Wade Stilson in the Emery offense. This time they're going to go to the ground, though, and I'm not sure about the wisdom of that call, Art. They had so much going in the passing, and Dane Citron has had so tough a time tonight, and he's going to actually lose a yard on that run.
Yeah, I don't understand the run game there on that call. You know, you've got 3rd down. You've been able to roll your quarterback and get some yardage.
And they were threatening. And
the run game just has not been going tonight.
So now that'll make it 4th down and about 4. Back at the San Juan 7-yard line, it looks like.
And they better call a timeout here. They've only got 30 seconds now, coming up on 30 seconds on the clock, and they don't look like they're in any hurry.
No, they don't at all have any urgency.
They must be waiting for the last play of the game and 4th down, so you know you're going to go one shot, take it down to 2 seconds so San Juan doesn't get the ball back because they probably watched last week's film and know exactly what San Juan can do with 20 seconds. So.
Now that to me is strange. I guess how many timeouts do they have left is the question, I guess, but
I don't think they've
I'm
used
really surprised with this call right here. I guess on 4th down, it's a big call. You don't want the drive to stall here.
Well, you still have the opportunity to pick up a 1st down about the 3-yard line. So,
right.
You know, I don't know. Obviously, Coach for Emery, he knows his team and he knows what he kind of wants to do here, dialing up a play. Because if he doesn't get it, and you do give San Juan the ball back with 30 seconds, it's a smart thing for him to do here, in my opinion, because we all know what San Juan can do with 30 seconds. So, you know, you run the clock down. If you pick up he's got 15.7 seconds on the clock. He's got enough time to run one play. If he gets a 1st down and doesn't get out of bounds, he can call timeout with 2-3 seconds left on the clock, run one more play to get the end zone. Or if he doesn't get it, you only leave San Juan, you know, under maybe 8 seconds. But still, San Juan could probably score in 8. So
they probably could. Well, they're looking for a big defensive stop right here. Up 40-0. 15.5 seconds left to go in the half. 4th down and 4. Wade Stilson rolls out to his right, and they don't quite get to him. He throws into the end zone. It's incomplete. Knocked away. Intended for Deacon Mangum in the end zone. Are there flags down?
There is a flag in the back of the end zone.
Yeah, I wondered about that. So there is a flag down. This may give Emery some more shots at it here with 10.5 seconds now left in the first half. Let's see what they're going to whistle here. Still no indication from the officials. Now, here we go.
A hold.
It is against San Juan, a holding penalty in the end zone. So that will be a 1st and goal, I believe, on a half the distance, or it'll be really close to the sticks on this half the distance call here from inside the 10. And so that will mark it down near the 4. Will this be enough to move the chains is the question. It looks like no. It looks like they'll replay 4th down, 4th and inches now. So another shot at it for Emery. They could get a 1st down if they get a half a yard here, but that would cause them possibly to run out of time. Only 10.5 seconds to go. They're trying to score their first touchdown of the game. Down 40-0 at the San Juan 4. And the ball is snapped on the ground, and they're going to run it up to the 1 for a 1st down. That was the absolute strangest thing I've ever seen. That went through the quarterback's legs, and the running back, I believe Citrid, picked it up and got a 1st down, but now Coach Fayamalu has to call a timeout. So now your timeouts are a huge factor because now you get one more shot at it with 6 seconds to go.
Now you're wishing you wouldn't have ran
was
off 15 seconds
That
off
was
the
the
clock.
absolute, yeah, I don't know why they ran off the time. That, to me, was the weirdest deal.
To me, at the time, it was the right decision, but now you look back, you're like, man, if we could have 20 seconds on the clock here and, a couple more plays, one more timeout. But at the time he did it, I agree with it. A smart call because you didn't want to give San Juan, if you didn't pick it up, the ball back with lots of time on the clock.
Man, if you could design that play where you snap it through the quarterback's legs and the running back scoops it off the ground and gets the 1st down.
Yeah, that was a broken play from the beginning, and kudos to Emery's team for that quarterback, Stilson, for making something out of nothing, because that could have been a turnover on downs, a sack, a fumble, a scoop and score. I mean, a number of things could have happened, so kudos to that kid for picking the ball up and able to get up the field for a 1st down.
So we'll set the stage. 5.8 seconds to go in the half. It's a 40-0 lead for San Juan. The Emery Spartans are on the Bronco 1, trying to punch in their first touchdown of the game, and they do. And they do it on the ground. Dane Citrid goes off right guard and right through the San Juan front line and into the end zone, and he's immediately off the field. No celebration. And it'll be 40-6. So that Emery right there gives themselves life, because they'll be getting the ball to start the 3rd quarter, and it will not be a running clock to start the 2nd half. So that is a key drive for Emery in this one. And look, if they start coming back in the 2nd half, remember this series, obviously. And they'll try to add the PAT here. And the snap is low, and Wade Stilson can't get the hold down, and he is swarm tackled in the backfield. So the PAT fails, and so very likely San Juan's going to start the 2nd half 1 point away from having a running clock to start the 2nd half. It's a 34-point deficit, 40-6 for San Juan with 2.5 seconds to go.
Bad snap to the holder, tries to pick up the ball and get what he can, but Mr. Do Everything, Jake Ivins, is there to secure the tackle and make sure they don't get any extra points. They gave up 6. You don't want to give up 7 or possibly 8. So
for Dane Citrid, let's see, just checking it here. That is his 6th touchdown run of the season. And he's up to 27 yards now on 14 carries. So he's not getting a lot of yardage on each of his carries, but he gets just enough right here and helps to get Emery on the board. And a strange several plays there down inside the Bronco 10. That just kept going, and finally Emery made it work, and they complete their first scoring drive of the night, make it 40-6. But the Broncos have an opportunity to return their first kick for a touchdown right here.
And we talked about it during that drive. They had to make something of it, and they were aided by a couple penalties, but hey, that's part of football. And that's what happens in the game, And so good drive by Emery, exactly what they need to do going to halftime so they can have some positivity to talk about at halftime.
And this is just the 2nd kickoff tonight from Emery, and no time is going to go off the clock, as that was a beauty of a kick, and that'll go out the back of the end zone for a touchback.
And there was no wind aid on that one either. That was just all leg from that kick.
No, this kid can kick. I don't know if that was Boston Huntington, or I saw Huntington pick up the tee there, but we'll see. Does San Juan take a shot here in the final 2 seconds, starting from their own 20?
I'm going to say yes.
What makes you say that?
I don't know. Maybe because
Just because you've been watching San Juan all year?
Well, I don't know. Maybe not. They're coming in here tight, but I think they do.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah, they'll roll the dice, it looks like. Parker Snyder, nope, they're going to down it. We were all wrong. So they will play it conservatively to end the first half, and they'll go into the second half with a 34-point lead. It's a heck of a first half for the San Juan Broncos as they rattle off 40 points. Emery scores late to keep it from being a running clock to start that second half. Of course, with it being homecoming tonight, there's special festivities here at halftime, so it's going to be a bit of an extended halftime period. We're going to take a break, and we'll come back with some first half stats. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com. I'm going to have some time to...
Blue Mountain Hospital is offering in-hospital and at-home dialysis, advanced sleep study clinics, pain management, hip and joint replacements, and cutting-edge radiology, including 3D mammograms. We're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain
62.
Kenzie is escorted on the field by number 9, Parker Snyder. JD is escorted by number 26, Zach Conway.
77.
JC is escorted by number 55, Yummy.
Taylor Black. And Megan Black is escorted by number 70, Pig Palmer. Let's hear it, big hand for your San Juan High School Homecoming Royalty 2023. One more time, let's hear it for the homecoming royalty.
At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Our halftime entertainment tonight will will be provided by our San Juan cheer team. Big hand for
Back
the
live to the San Juan
cheerleaders.
High School football field in Blanding, Utah, side of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com. You can hear the cheers. It's homecoming here tonight, and the homecoming team, the San Juan Broncos, very convincingly in that first half lead this one 40-6. We do welcome you into the Friday Night Lights halftime show here tonight on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com, and we'll take a look at some first half stats. We'll start it off with the visiting Emery Spartans, who of course punch in that late touchdown to keep this from being a running clock to start the second half. So that is key. If Emery is able to somehow manufacture a comeback in this second half, look to that last huge drive for Emery where they finally punched a touchdown in. It took a lot of work for them, but they finally got it in, and it wasn't very sexy, but they got it done. Looking at their stats here, and Wade Stilson, the senior quarterback, 16 of 22 in that first half for 144 yards, no touchdowns, but no interceptions either. In the running game, I tell you what, just 20 net yards in that first half of running offense, so not very strong, but they got enough. They got the 2-yard touchdown run from senior running back Dane Citrid right there in the waning seconds of the half to get themselves on the board, make it 40-6. As far as the receivers go, it is Deacon Mangum, the junior, leading the way with 5 catches in that first half for 59 yards. Mason Stilson, the senior, 4 catches, 41 yards. Luke Justice, also a senior, 4 catches, 17 yards. And Porter Herdsman, I missed him, he's a junior. He had a couple catches for 20 yards. 27 yards rushing for Dane Citrid and the touchdown on 14 carries for him in that first half. Jackson Johnson carried the ball once for a couple yards. So that's the Emery Spartans individual stats in that first half. Now look at the San Juan Broncos, and what a first couple quarters for senior quarterback Parker Snyder. 14 of 16, 286 yards passing in the first half and 5 touchdowns. Unbelievable. What a first half for him. He also added 62 yards rushing and the only rushing touchdown of the first half for San Juan on a 6-yarder back in the first quarter. Zach Conway, the senior running back for San Juan, 9 runs in that first half and 59 yards. Trace Bennett had 1 carry for 15 yards. Zach Conway also had a couple catches for San Juan and 42 yards receiving to go along. He had the 17-yard touchdown catch in the second quarter. Just the other running back, or if you will, running back, Trace Bennett with 1 catch for 13 yards. Jake Ivins is leading the way among receivers tonight. He has 5 catches, 111 yards, and 2 touchdowns, a 30-yarder in the first quarter, a 21-yarder in the second. Brigham Nielsen has 4 catches, 66 yards for San Juan, a 27-yard touchdown catch in the first quarter. Javen Montella was loud early but quiet in that second quarter. He had 2 catches in the first quarter for 54 yards. One of them was a big 42-yard touchdown reception. So that's a look at both teams' halftime stats. We'll take another break. We'll come back out for some scores around the state, around the area, around the leagues. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County. Let's do this!
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
Back live to San Juan High School in Blanding, Utah. Site of the Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. And a 40-6 halftime lead for the homecoming San Juan Broncos, looking for their 31st win in a row. And if they're able to hold on tonight, they will set a new school record. They would move into sole possession of the 5th longest winning streak in the state of Utah high school football history. And so the Broncos are on their way to doing that, but obviously a long way to go here in this second half. And Emery kept themselves alive with a late touchdown to keep this from starting the second half of the running clock. And we're going to continue the high school, or the Friday Night Lights, halftime show here tonight from San Juan High School. We'll take a look at some scores around the area in our football leagues around the state of Utah.
So right now in the 2A, we got Providence Hall up on Judge Memorial 20-6, who San Juan played last week. You have Summit Academy over ALA 21-14. Layton Christian is currently losing to South Summit 13-20, and then Delta up big on South Sevier 41-0. You had trying to find the scores for the San Juan volleyball team that played earlier tonight. I don't know if you have those, Rhett.
I actually do have that, so I'll mention that.
Enterprise is up in the 1A. We talked about Enterprise, a team that Emery played and lost to earlier in the season, up on Millard 14-0. Duchesne up big 42-0. And then Beaver, San Juan's last 2 season rivals in the state game, currently beating Kanab 14-7. So a couple of 1A scores out there, too, for you if you want to talk about the volleyball.
Okay, well, we've got scores in the whole listening area here for Red Rock 92. And we'll just start it from the top, in no particular order. Montezuma Cortez boys soccer involved in the Berthoud Invitational, or a tournament in Berthoud. And they lost yesterday to Berthoud Christian, but beat St. Michael today. So the Panthers moved to 2-4-1 on the year with a 4-1 win. In varsity, in girls soccer, it was Grand County losing to Parowan 7-1. Now we move to the volleyball scores. Dove Creek now 9-2 on the year. They swept Norwood this evening in a battle between local teams. You mentioned San Juan. They unfortunately fell in 5 sets to North Summit tonight.
I believe North Summit's like the #1 team in 2A too.
They are 13-3 now.
So I heard that was quite the match too for those that didn't.
Yeah, that's awesome. They took them to the wire, I guess, on that. A nice 5-set thriller. Shiprock Northwest beating Whitehorse. So the Lady Raiders fall to 1-6 on the year with a 4-set loss. We've received word that Monticello swept Montezuma Cortez on the volleyball court tonight. So they moved to 6-8 on the season, and that was another battle between local teams. We don't have a final on the Grand County North Sevier match currently underway.
And according to Max Preps, Grand County playing Meeker in football. Grand County currently losing 6-32 to Meeker.
Wow, okay. So there you go. Yeah, I'm going to maybe take a look at those. We got obviously a lot of teams in our area play in 8-man football. I'm not getting a score from any of them, unfortunately. I know Dolores is in Rangeley tonight. Dove Creek is hosting Hayden. And it's kind of surprising, you know, obviously that loss for Dove Creek a couple weeks ago or a week ago snapped a 15-game winning streak for them. So it's kind of rare to see Dove Creek with a number in their losing column. They're 2-1, Hayden undefeated. So that is going on tonight over in Dove Creek. Let's see if I can get some more scores. I know you've already mentioned, let's see, in the 2A Intermountain League, there's so many different leagues over there. I don't see any of our teams there. And I think that's, let's see, there is one more 8-man team. I think, Norwood. Norwood beating Plateau Valley 28-14. That's a final. So those are two teams that we'll see, or Monticello has already seen. I know Norwood will be coming over here to play in a couple weeks. So
nothing official out of Dove Creek if anybody over there might be listening to the station tonight. But I did get a text from someone that left at halftime, and they said they thought it was 36-0 in favor of Dove Creek. So if someone's listening,
that wouldn't surprise me.
Give us a shout out.
Theoretically, Dove Creek on their way to picking up their 3rd victory of the season. So halftime show, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92, pictureitpalmer.com. Just taking a look at some scores in our listening area and all around the Four Corners area that we cover. We do cover lots of teams, so just trying to keep updated on some of those. It's a 40-6 halftime lead for the homecoming San Juan Broncos here tonight in Blanding. They'll be kicking the ball away to Emery to start the second half. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back out in moments to start the 3rd quarter. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. I got to get back to what's really important here.
Hi, my name is Sean Ivins. I'm a rancher, husband, and father. Family bonding and spending time together is really important to me. Research shows that teens who regularly eat as a family 5 to 7 times per week are 33% less likely to use alcohol and 50% less likely to commit suicide. Bonding is essential in preventing underage drinking and substance misuse. Children are less likely to drink when their parents are involved in their lives, and when children and parents feel close to each other. Take time daily to talk with your kids about their interests and activities, and maintain at least a 4-to-1 ratio of positive comments to negative ones. I love calling San Juan County home. It is vital that we work together as families and communities to make this a safe and healthy place for our youth to live. Together, let's do this.
Compared to the vocational schools of the past, today's career and technical education courses span nearly every industry, including health science, business, digital arts, and computer science. CTE students learn valuable, real-world technical skills with a solid academic foundation while exploring career options or pursuing their passions. Did you know San Juan School District offers 19 CTE pathways for secondary students? To learn more, talk to a school counselor or CTE teacher today.
Here at Utah Naval Health System, our mission statement is we exist to improve
of our Friday Night Lights matchup tonight on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. We welcome you in. Rhett Sifford alongside Art Adair. And it's been a fun one if you're a San Juan Broncos fan so far tonight. They exploded for 40 first-half points. Emery punched in a late touchdown to keep this away from a running clock to start this third quarter. And the Spartans are going to get the ball here to start the third, Art. And, man, I tell you, for them that was an absolutely gigantic drive just to give themselves some life, give themselves an opportunity. If they, obviously they are going to take this opening kickoff here to start the second half. And their main goal is getting back in the end zone and really starting to build some momentum here to try to come back on this juggernaut here.
And the best thing that happened, you go in, you score right before halftime, which was an emotional thing for them to get in the end zone. And you take that at a halftime, and as coaches, you build on those little successes you had that drive. The catches, the runs, the reads your quarterback made, your line and their blocking and their ability to move the ball down the field to get 6 points. And you're going to build on that. And you're going to come out, I would imagine similar game plan that they win in that drive is what you're going to see from Emery in their first drive here.
Well, I mentioned while you were gone getting me water, and I do appreciate that, but I mentioned that the drive wasn't sexy. It didn't have to be necessarily. And, yeah, they just going to try to pick up where they left off. The Broncos, meanwhile, get back out on the field with defense looking for a big stop, looking for a quick score here in this third quarter and get this thing under a running clock.
Yeah, and San Juan really needs to be careful of those penalties. They've built up 7 penalties so far in the first half for a total of around 60 yards. And so they really need to be careful going in the second half because that's something that can spark an offense. You've seen it in that last drive. A couple of big penalties on fourth down, a penalty
Gave
in the
him
end
another
zone,
shot.
Gave him the shot to get that 6. So you really got to be fundamental and play and just play good, solid football and avoid the penalties.
So the Broncos set to kick it away here. 12 minutes showing on the clock as we begin the second half here tonight. Beautiful evening in Blanding. A lot of rain fell here today. So it's nice that it hasn't turned into an absolute mud bowl, but I can see the field is a little bit scarred up in the middle, a little bit of mud, a little bit of dirt out there. So Emery having trouble on this kick and not a good return. They do get the ball at the 20 after that returner was able to scoop that up off the turf and get a couple of yards. I think it was Porter Herdsman.
Yeah, it was number 22. They have not had a good kick to field yet. San Juan's done a great job at kicking that ball down intermediately, getting it on the turf and making it roll. And where it is, the grass is wet. It did rain, so that ball's slippery. And Emery's returners are having a hard time picking that up on the first bounce. They're having to juggle it once or twice before they get going upfield.
So here's Wade Stilson on first down, throwing to his man, and it's incomplete. That should have been caught, but trying to run before he actually secured that football was the intended receiver that time, Porter Herdsman. So second down and 10 for Emery at their own 21. So Stilson begins the second half with an incompletion, but I dare say that was not his fault. They were trying to set up that wide receiver screen over here on the near side. Now Stilson will go to the ground as he hands off to Citrid, and Citrid drives it forward into a crowd of Broncos, and he's slammed back down to the turf. He was lifted up and slammed down.
Well, Jake Ivins met him. He had a full head of steam, and so did Jake, and they met, and they just stopped each other. That was impressive to watch.
It was a pickup of 3, so 30 yards on the game now for Citrid. And a pass is complete over on the far side, but a beautiful open field tackle by San Juan. Parker Snyder, the quarterback, on the tackle. And number 6 was the receiver over on the far side, Mason Stilson. And only a pickup of 3 for Emery, but that's the first completion of the second half for Stilson. And now a big fourth down. Actually, no, they're going to line up for a punt. It was a big third down, and I missed that. My apologies. So San Juan gets the stop they wanted to start this second half. They get the punt away, does Emery. It's going to roll to a stop inside the 30, and the Broncos will have decent field position starting at their own 28. Get that offense back out on the field and see if they can get in gear again from where they left off in the first half.
Yeah, not the drive you wanted from Emery, obviously. Started with that kickoff return. Just could not get a handle on that ball to pick it up cleanly, to advance it up the field. You're stopped. Then you get a big stop by Jake Ivins on the San Juan defense, hitting the runner up the middle. and then just some bad passes that weren't really catchable, and puts Emery back on defense.
Yeah, for San Juan, whose offense was out on the field for most of that first half, it's been about 6 minutes since they've been on the field, 6 minutes of playing time. So it's been a while. Hopefully they're not too cold and rusty. We'll see as they get back out here to start the second half. And they're not, as Parker Snyder finds who else but Jake Ivins across the middle on a slant right into traffic, and it's a quick pickup of 15 yards.
Yeah, great little play there. Great little high percentage play by Coach Christensen to call to get his quarterback the first throw, not going deep, but right across his face, able to make a good completion.
And that was actually more like 17 yards, and now Zach Conway gets the call as he takes the handoff and rumbles his way down the sideline for another 11, maybe 12, and another first down for San Juan. And let's see, that was a 17-yard pass.
Being told there's a flag.
Okay, so that may be coming back.
Yep.
So Jake Ivins' 17-yard pass reception counted, so 128 yards for him. And for Snyder, you weren't here to hear it, Art, but almost 300 yards passing already in this game.
Looks like they called holding.
And it is now 303 yards passing with that completion to Jake Ivins for Parker Snyder. Unbelievable. Snyder will find a man over here on the near side again. It's Brigham Nielsen. He's spun around, and he's going to get enough for a first down, it looks like. So it looks like the run probably counted, and then there was a penalty that brought it back a little. This will be a pickup of another 10 for San Juan.
Yeah, so they had and then they had that holding call. We've talked about that.
Yep.
But in front of the line of scrimmage, so there's difference in how they mark it off.
And so here's Conway again, and off left tackle. He's going to get the end and go up the sideline as he drags a man and now drags 3 men all the way down near the 10-yard line. What a strong run for Zach Conway, that time down to the 12. Wow. That was like another 28-yard run for Conway, who should have been down way before that.
Yeah, he had a guy he was dragging a guy with his jersey about for 10 yards that run.
I've got 99 unofficial yards now for Zach Conway as Parker Snyder goes back to the air, finds Jake Ivins in the middle, and he is in a crowd of Emery defenders, but he makes the catch down inside the 5. That'll be real close to another first down for San Juan. Looks like it's going to come up about 2.5, maybe 3 yards shy. So a 7-yard pickup. And now, I didn't see what happened there. Was the ball on the turf?
Parker
Snyder.
Yep.
Parker had to scoop it up and gets back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll be a big third down here for San Juan, looking to get this into a running clock situation.
Good bounce, though. Drops the ball on the snap. You know, just takes his eyes off it, but able to corral it back in, and no harm, no foul.
I can't look down to do stats. That's a fact. I miss a play almost every time. Snyder will hand off to Conway, and he goes off right tackle untouched into the end zone for, believe it or not, his first rushing touchdown of the night, and the cannon makes a return. That thing is awesome. I don't know if you can hear that, if that translates over the air, but that is fun. I think we need to do that more. We need to just do that for random occurrences in Blanding. Why not?
And I'll tell you, the way that play works is you've got big number 66 and 70 for San Juan out there on the pole, and that springs Zach, which leads him untouched into the end zone. Kudos to those big linemen for getting out there on those poles.
So it's a 5-yard touchdown run for Zach Conway as the Broncos pour it on, and now they will have a running clock scenario. It is Conway's 14th rushing touchdown of the season, and San Juan leads with the extra point now, 47-6. So Trip Palmer has come on and is doing a great job in the PAT department. There is one 2-point conversion in this game for San Juan, but the Broncos have increased the lead to 47-6. So they'll have a running clock for the duration. And refresh me on the rule, Emery would have to get back to within 21, isn't that right, to stop the running clock? I think that's what it is. All right, so Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com, live from Blanding. Sponsored in part tonight by Blue Mountain Foods, Energy Fuels, Palmer Sprinkling, Precision Rehab, Lee Contracting, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Quality Auto, San Juan Pharmacy, Canyonlands Tire, Diamond Propane, Knowles Home Furnishings, and Red's Ace Hardware. Big thanks to all the sponsors who who make the broadcast possible. So the Broncos up 47-6 now. And what has become a very convincing show from this San Juan squad on homecoming night tonight in front of the home crowd for just the second time this year.
A little different style kickoff here.
Yeah, they're going to suck it up in formation, and now that may have been offside, and then also kicked out of bounds. That was a bit shaky there. That may need to go back to the drawing board on that play, and a little bit of razzle-dazzle, but it doesn't pan out. That's going to be a 35-yard line start for Emery unless they force a re-kick. It looks like they may force a re-kick. I'm not sure.
We'll see what they do because you got the offsides. Unfortunately, just something that they're trying to obviously test out to see if they need it in the future. And obviously hasn't run it before, and the kids are a little rusty with it. And it just, you get up there and you're just going to want to slow kick that thing, just kind of get it up in the air. And it's hard to stop when you get your toes on that white line.
Yeah.
And unfortunately for that Bronco over there on that far side, he just kind of got toenail over it and was unable to pull it back.
Well, that's not going to be the call. I don't know if there were 2 fouls on the play, but it is the illegal procedure that's called. So with the ball being kicked out of bounds, I'm not sure if they noticed the offside that we may have seen. But
well, the FAR official called it. He threw his flag.
Okay.
And then came over and had a discussion, so obviously.
Yeah, so this is a strange, yeah, you're right. So there's a strange starting position here. That's really kind of odd. They're going to be starting at the 47. So great field position for Emery on their second possession of the second half, but now under a running clock scenario, and they get to Stilson. He's going to break a tackle, and now he is dragged down ultimately well behind the line of scrimmage.
And again, Jayton Knight comes through their perfectly timed blitz, and he is just so quick and getting through that line that no one puts a hand on him, and he's able, and Stilson does all he can to get away from him. But Jayton gets out there and gets that big old right hand on him and is able to just hold that jersey until a couple of the Broncos are there to help make that tackle. But just a phenomenal blitz that they've dialed up, and it's worked both times.
It is a loss of 10 on the sack. Second sack of the game for San Juan, and a second down and 20 for Emery. Stilson drops back. They set up the screen, and what a hit. The catch was made, but the open field tackle by San Juan, was that Conway? Conway on the stop. What a hit that was in the open field, and no gain.
He was not fooled at all, and he came up there. He got off the block, and he made a huge hit. And now Emery finds himself 3rd and 20-something.
And I didn't see who that was on the catch. The completion does count. So Stilson now 18 of 25, but only 147 yards. And that one didn't help him. 3rd down and 20+. Stilson will look to air it downfield. Good coverage for the Broncos. Now they get to him, and he will nearly complete it. But that kid, I think, was afraid to catch that football. He had 2 Broncos ready to hammer him. And incomplete, intended for Deacon Mangum.
Well, that would have been a heck of a catch if he did, and if he would have caught it, that was what we call a decleater.
Yeah.
Because kudos to that San Juan kid for pulling up, because if he catches that ball, he gets hit immediately.
Yeah.
And the ball was a little low, so he's going down kind of on his knees. But, yeah, wow, that could have been a big-time hit and a big-time play for both teams.
So it's a 4th and 20+, and Emery will be forced to punt again, and Branton Bethea fields this one on the fly and a chance to return it, and he is pulled down, and not before he gets to the 45, though, but he was pulled down from behind. That looked a little ugly, but he hops right back up, so none the worse for wear, and the Broncos will start from their own 45 with a running clock and a 47-6 lead.
He had a head of steam on that return, and luckily
I thought he might break it.
Luckily for Emery, Herdsman is able to corral him and bring him down. But, yeah, he was on the fly there. Good tap. Porter just reached his arms out there and grabbed with both hands, and it was a violent tackle too.
And here's my question. Have we seen Javen Montella since the first quarter? He made 2 catches, one of them for a 42-yard touchdown, but I haven't called his name, and I don't see him out there. And he has not made a catch since the first quarter. This pass is deflected and incomplete as the Broncos start from their own 45. So that's a rare incompletion for Parker Snyder in this ball game. He's now 17 of 20. 320 yards passing for the senior. And he will pitch it this time to Conway out of the backfield on a more traditional looking option. And Conway is not going to get more than maybe a yard on the run to the far side of the field.
good closing defense by Emery here. They're really picking it up this possession.
So it will bring up a 3rd down and 9. They're actually going to spot it at the original line of scrimmage and give Conway no yards on that run.
And I do see Javen down here on the sidelines. He's by the offensive coaches, so just probably not in on this series.
So a big 3rd down for San Juan here, but a big lead for the Broncos and a running clock. Here's Parker Snyder rolling out to his left, has protection. Throws to the sideline, complete to Jake Ivins, and it's right at the sticks. A perfect button hook pattern will give the Broncos a 1st down on an 11-yard pass play.
Great recognition by Jake to know where the 1st down is, to get to the sticks, a yard past it, to make that catch. If he doesn't get a yard past it, does him no good. So good recognition by Jake.
1st and 10 for San Juan, back in Emery territory at the 45. Oh, and Snyder throws over the middle, and this time Brigham Nielsen trying to do too much, starting to run before he secured the football, goes right through his hands, incomplete. And so 2 of the last 3 tries for Snyder incompletions. That has not happened all game. And it will bring up a 2nd down and 10 from the Emery 45-yard line. Snyder up to 331 yards passing and 5 touchdowns, all in that first half. He will roll out, has a man over on the far side. It's Trace Bennett. Trace will have a lot of room over there, and he's going to get about 20 yards on a big pass play for the Broncos down inside the Emery 15.
Such a hard catch right there to make if you're Trace. You're coming across the formation. He lines up here in a power set like he's going to be the lead blocker, and then he's got to catch it on his back hip, turning backwards. It's just a hard catch for anybody to make, and he's able to make it and then gets huge positive yards.
Yeah, once he got it, the running was the easy part. Now this pass a little high, intended for Bennett once again out of that slot back position, and he's unable to pull it down.
Yeah, I think Parker was a little hurried on that one. He wishes he could have that back, maybe stay in that pocket a little longer. Half a second to give Bennett a little bit longer to get his head around to make that catch, and that's a good play.
So 2nd down and 10 for San Juan. From inside the Emery 30, Jake Ivins makes a catch on the near side over here, and that is about a 9-yard gain. It looks like that'll go inside the 20 to the 18-yard line.
And with that running clock, we're already down to 3 minutes.
Yeah, I noticed it was really ticking down. So 3rd down, and they'll say 2. Inside the 20 at the 19 is where they officially spotted. I'm going to give them 9 yards anyway, since I've already written that down. And Snyder's going to hand off to Conway. He'll bust it right up the middle. Nobody touched him. He goes in for the San Juan Broncos' 7th touchdown of the night. 8th touchdown of the night now. And we get the cannon again. It's a thing of beauty. 53-6 now for the Broncos. Clock stops with just under 3 minutes left in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, what a great run there by Zach. Nice read, nice blocking by the up front by the lineman to get those big open lanes. And like you said, not even touched through there, and easy touchdown for Zach.
It is his 14th on the season, 15th on the season, 2nd tonight. I love the smoke coming across the field now. I'm hoping we're going to get a whiff of that. The PAT is no good. I'd love to know what the cannon smells like.
I bet you I could get you over there after the game. I know some people.
You know some people. Here, I'll just stand there while you shoot it. Let's see. That'll be a good experience. 53-6 for the San Juan Broncos. It is a running clock, except for right now, 2:51 to go in this 3rd quarter. San Juan has taken it to the Emery Spartans, the team that took them to the wire in last year's state semifinal game. And the Broncos set to kick it away to the Spartans again. Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com tonight. The homecoming game tonight at San Juan High School, and they are putting on a show for the home crowd here tonight. Our broadcast is brought to you in part by Southeastern Utah 7-Eleven stores, Blue Mountain Hospital, Furniture Gallery, Primary Residential Mortgage, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, and Four Corners Electric. And I'm getting my whiff, Art. I love it. Smells wonderful.
Let's see if Coach Eldridge goes back to the normal kickoff, or if he has a little trickeration up his sleeve again.
They maybe sheepishly come back out for the kickoff this time. May have embarrassed themselves last time. So 53-6 as San Juan continues to pour it on here. I'm guessing, I'm thinking that probably Emery, if they can hang on to the football here, will run timeout in this third quarter. Here comes a good return for the Spartans, now down the sideline and stepping out of bounds. I'm surprised he just stepped out quietly there, was Deacon Mangum. I think that shows you a little bit of the difference between these two teams. I don't think Branton Bethea or Trace Bennett or Zach Conway would have stepped out there. I think they'd have pounded somebody and tried to get more yardage.
No, that's one thing about these Broncos. They're always looking for that extra. Most teams are looking for that extra yard or half step. They're looking for that extra hit. They've got that defense mindset even on offense. They're looking to take it to you. But a nice return there by Emery sets them up in good field position here to see what they can get going. And, different kicker out there for San Juan that time. I know had a different kicker out there, Isaac. I can't pronounce his last name, number 43. But so you might see some younger kids in here now, or some seconds.
Rebetarano, maybe?
That's it, Rebetarano.
Or Rebetarano?
He was the kicker that time for the Broncos.
Oh, there you go. Well, it's a short gain for Emery, and I didn't even see how the play happened. I think we can see a replay here. They did start from their own 38. This is a pickup of 3. See if this is just a handoff. We've got a bit of a delay on our replay here, but boy, look at
32.
Oh, it's a little reverse type of thing in the backfield. So now Wade Stilson will throw to the near side. It's complete, but it's only going to be a pickup of 3, complete to number 2, Rhett Peterson. So he's up to 10 yards now. And 150 yards passing now for Stilson. He's 19 of 27. 32, the ball carrier on that one. I'll have to get a name in just a little bit. Boston Huntington is the man who carried the football last time. And this time, but look at Citrud's uniform compared to everybody else. He's all gray. Everybody else is white out there for Emery.
I was just going to comment on that, Rhett. You read my mind. I was just going to say,
I've been watching him.
Moms hate the white uniforms because they're just so hard to clean. But if you look out there, you can definitely tell who the workhorse is on that team because his uniform is dirt gray. I mean, he just obviously he looks like he's in a different uniform than the rest of the team. What a stud workhorse! So what a kid just put his body out there and run the ball for your team.
Yeah, and he got another 3 yards and moves the chains here for Emery. Now they'll throw to the far side of the field and incomplete through the hands of the intended receiver. I think that's number 6, Mason Stilson over there. It was 8. Okay, I can't tell. I thought it was 6, but 8 apparently.
Oh no, it's 6.
6. That's what I thought.
They announced 8 on the.
Yeah, Mason Stilson was the man.
Look at you.
I know
you got great eyes.
I know me. Yeah, right.
Chubby thumbs and great eyes.
I was going to say either that or they got new kids in. So, and chubby thumbs. You're right. Nearly took us off the air tonight before we even started. And that will do the quarter. Like I said, just because of the running clock, by virtue of that, Emery still has the football. It's going to be a 2nd down and 10 when we come back. We'll take a break. The San Juan Broncos on homecoming night here tonight in Blanding, leading the Emery Spartans 53-6 in a rematch of last year's state semifinal game. Come join us for the 4th quarter. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. This hurts not being able to hear. Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com as we're underway now in the 4th quarter. And here's a rare quarterback run for Wade Stilson. Other than when he's been sacked tonight, he hasn't registered any rushing yardage. But he's going to get a yard right here as he sweeps himself around the left tackle. I don't know if that was broken.
That was running for your life.
Running for your life? Okay, I wonder.
That kid, he dropped back to pass, and San Juan sent so many kids that he just had to run for his life. Good job for him to pick up some yardage.
3rd down and 9, and now San Juan threatening to blitz again. Stilson hangs in there, throws it deep downfield, and it's too deep by about 5 yards. His intended man unable to get free and open, and that will bring up a 4th down now as Emery once again fails on their 3rd down try. They were trying to throw some sparks out there, but it didn't work that time. And with the running clock, we're down under 11 minutes now to go in this game.
And if I'm Emery, I go for it here. You got,
absolutely.
53-6.
Yeah.
Let your offense stay on the field. You don't need the work punting. Let your offense stay on the field. If you don't pick it up, you don't pick it up. But at least you get another play, another down to work with your offense, and they go empty set here.
So that's exactly what they're going to do. Try to make something happen here on 4th down. There's a man I thought was lined up in the neutral zone here, but Stilson is flushed out of the pocket. He'll have to throw on the run. He's going to throw a Hail Mary downfield. Has a man. The ball kind of died and may have hit the turf. They're going to call it complete down at the 3-yard line. Oh, my goodness. That ball, that's the second time I think I've seen the ball bounce tonight, but they're going to give Emery the benefit of the doubt and a big completion for Wade Stilson. I think that was, where did that originate from? I didn't see.
The 45.
45, okay, so that is what, a 55-yard pass or so. That's obviously the biggest pass of the night and puts him over 200 yards, 205 yards now. Of course, we question the validity of the incompletion there, or the completion there, and now they're going to call San Juan for offside, so that's going to be a 1.5-yard penalty here. And so it will be 1st down and goal from the 1.5 now. I'm still in a little bit of shock after that completion, I guess. And I didn't see who caught that, to be honest with you. As they will hand off to Sitrud, and he's going to punch it in. Yes, touchdown Emery. And so they get the benefit of the doubt on a long pass and then punch it in from 1.5 yards out as Dane Sitrud goes in for his 2nd touchdown run of the night. And we'll give him 2 yards on that run, so he's up to 35 now on the night. Both of Emery's touchdowns have come from Dane Sitrud, and both from basically the same yard mark. And it is a 53-12 lead for the San Juan Broncos now with 9:15 to go in this game here tonight on homecoming night at San Juan High School. Broncos in their throwback gold uniforms. This kicker for Emery is no joke as he bombs it into the cars up on the street, I think.
I think he hit the middle school with that one.
He does have a field goal on the year and 18 PATs successful coming into tonight, but Des News didn't have how many attempts, so I can't tell you what his percentage is, but he's 2 for 2 tonight. Well, no, I guess he's not. That's right, because the first snap was awful. So 53-13, 40-point lead for San Juan with 9:15 to go in the game. And we'll just take a real quick break ourselves and return to San Juan High School. You're listening to Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
Blue Mountain Hospital, we're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com as Emery kicks it away, and I'm really surprised it wasn't an onside try, but they do kick it away, and the San Juan returner was swashbuckled right around his own 15. I'm sure we're going to see some second stringers in now for San Juan for the duration of this one. Running clock under 9 minutes to go, and a 53-13 lead for San Juan. And barring some sort of a massive miracle, they're going to be winning their 31st in a row, Art, and setting a new school record here tonight, moving into 5th place all-time in the state of Utah history.
You got JD at fullback, and you got Jayton Knight at quarterback now.
So Jayton Knight takes over for Parker Snyder, and what's always funny is these kids come off the bench and are looking to make stuff happen, and last week against Judge Memorial, they started their own game basically and continued the scoring. And this Jayton Knight's first pass incomplete, however, tonight.
Yeah, I tried to hit number 16, Owen Adams, out there in space and just didn't put enough mustard on that one.
So second down and 10.
Nothing
for San Juan.
I make a mustard comment with the jerseys, and you don't give
that's
nothing?
beautiful. It's beautiful. Nothing,
Come on,
right?
Rhett.
I'm slow. I'm slow. I am slow with chubby fingers. Second down and 10 for San Juan. Clock is running under 8 to go. And the Broncos up 53-13. Here's Jayton Knight going to the ground this time. And it's number 2 on the carry for San Juan, Jagger Neves. And that'll be, I got to add his name in here. I need to get him on the list, I guess. But, actually, he is in here. I've got him as the third-string quarterback, of course.
Yeah, he plays quarterback.
So, yeah, I don't have to add anything. I remember I made that mistake last time. But he rattles it all the way out to the, where have they got the ball spotted here? I can't see anything. 27-yard line. I think that was a pickup of 12 or so for Jagger. So first and 10 for the San Juan second string in here now. And an interesting formation here. This is the pro set, I think, and guys trying to figure out where they're supposed to go here.
Jayton doing a good job at directing the offense. Obviously knows the playbook and where they're supposed to be, so doing a good job at getting players in position.
And it's a little bit disjointed as they snap the ball, but now Jayton will get it out of there and connects with his man out of the backfield, Jagger Neves. And it is complete, but it's only going to be about a yard, maybe 2 on that gain, and they're going to stop the clock here for some reason.
It's still running.
I guess it is still running. I'm not sure why this official here I thought was signaling to stop the clock, but I guess I was wrong. So Jayton Knight now 1 of 2 on the night with a 2-yard completion here to his backup, Jagger Neves.
Yeah, we're going to have a penalty somewhere.
So that
a block in the back, maybe?
No, that's going against Emery.
By Emery, yes.
So that's going to be a personal foul, it looks like.
Oh, yeah.
It was a 10-yard penalty, maybe. So that will push the ball all the way down to the 44-yard line. So San Juan gets another first down right here. Well, it was only a 2-yard pass play, but it goes for a lot more than that with the Emery penalty. And now Jayton Knight will hand off. Tough to see who carried the ball. J.D. Palmer on the carry. That's his first carry of the second half, and it goes for 3. So that'll be a second down and 7, nearing midfield for the Broncos. If you're just joining us, you've missed the game. It's 53-13. The Broncos have this one well in hand. Under a running clock scenario, we're winding into the final 5 minutes of this game. The Broncos heading downhill to their 31st win in a row. Going to set a new school record here tonight. It'll break the record that was set officially back in 2011. But those wins stretched from 2009 to 2011. There's a short gain for San Juan. JD again.
Jayton Knight.
Jayton Knight on the keeper.
And according to my stats, San Juan is 5 for 5 so far on third down. So JV needs to keep that 100% streak up and pick this up.
Yeah, you know this second string is not going to take this lightly on third down. So here's Jayton Knight working from the shotgun. And it looked like they shuttled that in the backfield, and Emery was all over that and stuffed Jagger Neves in the backfield. So the Broncos now look like they're going to come in with a punt team, I think. Nope, maybe Jagger's just coming over here to the, or Jayton, sorry, is coming over here to the near side to get a play here. That was a loss of 3 on that completion. I think that was officially a pass.
Yeah, Braxton Butler, man, he was in there. And there is a penalty. It looks like they're marching off. But Braxton Butler for Emery, he just came through there untouched and was able to make a perfect stick tackle on Neves.
So
I wanted to say
Nieves. It's a running joke. It's constantly called out of the PA here as Nieves. So it's tough. It does rattle us broadcasters. It always makes me do a double take, that's for sure.
Well, now at home they just do it it's
just for fun.
Fun.
Yeah. So Jayton Knight is actually going to punt it away after that massive loss of yardage on the penalty. Gets a decent punt down around the 25, but Emery on a return, but an open field tackle by Jagger Neves, who gets downfield and scoops the turf and takes number 22, Jackson Johnson's legs out from under him no gain on that return. They'll start from their own 25.
Yeah, he was flying down the field, too, and made a good tackle. Takes the legs out of the returner. Just, you know, some of these guys that they still get in the game, they're varsity players, but at different positions. And so when they play their position, they really enjoy playing and natural at. Man, you see them have a lot of fun. You know, you see JD out there on defense. You see Jayton out there on defense. But, man, when they get on offense, get a chance to, you know, do their offensive mojo, man, those kids just play hard.
I'm still just reeling and embarrassed that I missed your mustard comment and had no comeback with it.
Yeah, maybe if they wear them again, I'll give you another chance.
It is likely that Emery's going to wind the rest of the time down off this clock. They take the ball back, 2:40 to go. And they're going to get, just as I say that, it looks like the Broncos are going to get the first takeaway of the game as they force a fumble to the quarterback, Wade Stilson.
14.
And it's number 14, Wrigley Lagilia, who gets the recovery. And his first fumble recovery of the season, maybe even his varsity career. And the Broncos will start deep in Emery territory at the 16. And surprisingly, the first turnover of the ball game comes here so late as they get to Wade Stilson there.
Yeah, and Stilson, unfortunately, just had the ball in one hand. The defenders get to him. He can't keep a hold of it, drops it on the turf, and Wrigley Lagilia there to, you know, collect the money.
And so, let's see. Oh, that's incorrect. It's negative 25 yards now for Stilson as the San Juan second string gets a reprieve and another opportunity. And here's Jagger Neves again trying to get to the outside. He's not quite able. He's going to get maybe another yard. Was that a pitch or a handoff or a pass? I missed the whole deal.
It's a little handoff in front. I believe we'll watch the replay here, but that 40 yards to get one, that's a long ways to go for 1 yard.
Yeah, he ran east and west, that's for sure.
Yeah, you got Jagger here on the left side of the quarterback. Just comes right across in the handoff.
Just a handoff, yep. So maybe a yard on that carry. Maybe two. We'll give him two, give him the benefit of the doubt. So 14 yards rushing for Jagger Neves. Unofficial, of course. My stats, very unofficial, especially late in games. Down to a minute to go in this one here tonight.
And I think they're going to run the clock down.
Yeah,
here.
they're taking their time each snap, and they're just going to go to victory formation here. And Jayton Knight a little disappointed, I think, in the coaching staff that he's not getting an opportunity here. He says, "Come on, man, give me a shot here." And he's going to come over to the sideline and have a momentary discussion with Coach Christensen. I think he's highly disappointed with what Coach Christensen has told him. He's going to go back out and take another knee, and that will do it. He's going to take another Neves.
Man, I tell you, we're here all night, folks.
Actually, we're hoping to get out of here, so we need to get out of here. That's going to do it. In front of the homecoming crowd tonight, the San Juan Broncos shellac the Emery Spartans 53-13 in a rematch of last year's 2A state semifinal game. It's the 31st straight win for the San Juan Broncos. They moved to 6-0 on the year. In a season, they're looking for their third straight state championship, and that last cannon blast scares everybody out on the field. I love it. We're going to take a break. We'll come back out to open the post-game show. Stay with us. It's Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
we are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC, Coalition, and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Life is a series of cherished moments, filled with milestones that define our journey. Moments of love, joy, and shared experiences. Each moment contributes to our story. As each chapter unfolds, our experiences shape us, defining who we are. When it's time to celebrate a life, ensure your loved ones are remembered with the grace, dignity, and individuality they deserve. San Juan Mortuary, celebrating life, honoring memories, transcending tradition.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports. With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, a digital and global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Blue Mountain Hospital is offering in-hospital and at-home dialysis, advanced sleep study clinics, pain management, hip and joint replacements, and cutting-edge radiology, including 3D mammograms. We're thrilled to welcome Cade Lyman, Dane Lyman, and Brian Kirk, joining our unparalleled team of healthcare professionals. Blue Mountain Hospital has been setting the standard for rural hospitals since 2009.
Live to San Juan High School in Blanding, Friday Night Lights post-game show on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. Rhett Sifford welcoming you back in. And Art Adair down on the field trying to rustle up head coach Barkley Christensen to bring him up and have a conversation with us here in moments. But 53-13 final. I need to write that down before it disappears off the board. 6-0 for the San Juan Broncos this season, but the 31st win in a row for this San Juan Broncos squad as they set a new school record here tonight. And we are now joined by Coach Barkley Christensen as I imagine, Coach, you're having a hard time getting up here, talking to everybody on your way up, but what a convincing show for you guys today. I mean, you guys came out and just really took it to these guys. You were so much more prepared for them this year than you were last year. Rematch of last year's state semifinal game. You guys really showed yourselves here tonight. You really looked good from the start.
Yeah, this one does feel good. You know, sometimes when I come up here, I'm like, we left plays on the field. I think offense scored every time we touched the ball. Obviously, they scored 13 points, which is too much for us right now. I mean,
that last touchdown was questionable.
Oh, yeah.
On that completion.
I think he was too scared to say incomplete. But
yeah.
No, I'm very satisfied. You know, homecoming week's always kind of a stressful week just because so much attention goes into other things. But they were able to lock in. Remember what homecoming week's all about, winning a football game on Friday. I mean, homecoming week doesn't even matter if you don't win that thing. So,
right.
Yeah, they were able to lock in, focus. It was fun to debut kind of our retros tonight. So shout out to our donors for that. And
So are we going to be
Very
seeing these
satisfied.
things again, or?
It's up to the boys. I said
Okay,
every
gotcha.
homecoming we'll wear them, but we might. You might
may.
see them every game now.
Well, I was like, hey, maybe it's been so good, maybe we shouldn't change unis. But I tell you, after the show tonight, may as well change unis, I guess.
Yep.
Well, you guys look good, Coach. I know you've talked about peaking at the right time. I don't necessarily say that you were peaking tonight, but obviously you're headed in that direction. You guys were firing on all cylinders.
Yeah, I mean, tonight was, like I said, I'm very satisfied. And obviously I'll watch the film, and I'm sure I can nitpick them on something.
Of course you can.
But, no, very, very satisfying win, and kids just played hard. If they play hard and give effort and execute, man, what else can I say?
I don't know how many times we've said this or how many times this has happened. It's almost every time it seems. You guys suffered a bad penalty at some point early in the game, and you score on the very next play. That happens consistently. What is it about this team and last week, after you allow the first touchdown, you come back and then just don't even look back. You just leave them in the dust. What is it about this team that can come back from adversity like that, not just all season, but even during a game?
Again, I credit it to summer workouts, them grinding and working out all year long. I mean, winter, spring, summer, they never stop. So, I mean, it's just what we do, and little setbacks don't hurt them because they know what we're capable of. I mean, every battle is won before it's fought. I'm a firm believer of that, and they're just ultra confident because they feel ultra prepared. And, again, that happened 6 to 8 months ago. I mean, it's not just like they're turning it on this fall. So, and then they've been doing it for 4 years. You can pile on the years with that too. So I just think it's the hard work they put in the summers.
I run out of questions to ask you a lot of times because you say the same things, and it is the same things over and over again. Football and training for football is repetitive. It's no fun in practice. It's no fun in the weight room. You do those hard things, and you guys are doing the right things, and that's what's showing out on the game field.
That's what I tell them all the time, and yeah, it is boring, right? But it's a process, and football is such a hard sport to play because of that. I mean, who wants to spend their summers in mornings, waking up at 6 in the morning, busting, in the weight room and on the field? It's hot, it's hard. It's how easy would it be to lay in my house and play video games?
Absolutely.
And 91 of these kids are doing this,
Yep.
and they just buy in. And when they buy in, you'll get kids that you would never think would work, and they do. They just get into it, and they go. So that's just a testament to the program and the community that supports us and just the culture we have.
Well, Coach, everybody circled this game on the calendar when the schedule came out. Everybody knew this would be a matchup where the team might challenge you. This would be the hardest game of the season. These guys had nothing for you. It seems like nobody has anything for you guys. You're doing it so right. It's just game in and game out for you, taking care of business one game at a time, and it's working for you guys, without a doubt.
I was a nervous wreck before the game. I had to have all my assistant coaches tell me, calm down. I was on edge. I was nervous. Just because, I probably had PTSD from the semifinal game. Unfortunately, they've got a couple guys that are hurt, which,
right.
I mean, but that's football. So do we.
Yep.
That's football. Everybody says as a fan it's probably pretty boring, but as a coach, I'm like, I don't care if we have a close game the rest of my career. I'd gladly blow everybody out.
Rest of your career. Are you talking retirement already? What's going on here?
I got a long time.
Well, what can you say? I mean, obviously, I hate as a journalist, we have to say these things. And then you got the superstition of jinxing and everything. But now, 31 wins in a row. I know that's not enough for you, but you do set a new school record. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and we celebrated that one tonight. We told them you guys are the only, is it the 4th team in Utah history?
Well, you're the 5th team. You've done it. The team has done it once before, so technically 6, but you count yourself twice. And so you guys are now 5th.
5th.
You stand alone in 5th. As far as a winning streak in the state of Utah history.
I think that's something to celebrate.
It is
so
definitely
we haven't
something.
talked, I mean, of course we talk about it a little bit, but the main focus on this year. But tonight, getting that milestone, of course we're going to celebrate that.
Yeah, absolutely, and deservedly so. And then I know you'll go right back to work, and you got South Sevier next week, and obviously, I don't know what challenge they're going to bring you. You've handled them pretty easily lately, but you go back to work. It doesn't matter the opponent. You're going to prepare for them just like you would anybody. You guys are going to take care of business just like you would anybody.
Yep, can't take anybody for granted. I mean, even if you win on the score, that's where injuries happen, is when you take teams lightly and loosely. And we got to dominate. We got to run it up early. But again, that comes Saturday, Sunday mornings for me and the kids on Monday, getting the game plan and then executing it all week.
And the kids are bought in. It's obvious. They're bought in. They have the same mentality as you and the rest of the coaching staff. I mean, you guys have built a great coaching staff, obviously. You built a great team. You built a great fan base. Everybody's bought in, and I know that's exciting.
It is, and I appreciate you guys. But again, we could lose this just as fast as we got it. So we got to keep looking forward and just keep doing our thing.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it. Go enjoy it. I know it's exciting tonight, and you'll go right back to work, and we'll talk to you next week. I am hoping to get a pregame interview with you. I had major fiasco today at the studio, so I wasn't able to get out and talk to you. But maybe, I don't know, maybe it was better for you that you didn't have to face talking to me before the game. But congratulations. Go enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
All right. Coach Barkley Christensen, as his team spanks the Emery Spartans here tonight, 53-13, wins their 31st in a row, and moves to 6-0 on the season as they look for their third straight state championship this season, and well on their way to that, taking care of business game in and game out this season. We're going to continue the Friday Night Lights post-game show. We'll take a break, and we'll come back for the final stats and some final thoughts. Stay with us. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
Hi, my name is Sean Ivins. I'm a rancher, husband, and father. Family bonding and spending time together is really important to me. Research shows that teens who regularly eat as a family 5 to 7 times per week are 33% less likely to use alcohol and 50% less likely to commit suicide. Bonding is essential in preventing underage drinking and substance misuse. Children are less likely to drink when their parents are involved in their lives, and when children and parents feel close to each other. Take time daily to talk with your kids about their interests and activities, and maintain at least a 4-to-1 ratio of positive comments to negative ones. I love calling San Juan County home. It is vital that we work together as families and communities to make this a safe and healthy place for our youth to live. Together, let's do this.
With a changing economy and advancing technology, it's time that marketing and selling of real estate in San Juan County catches up. Four Corners Homes and Property Management is changing the game. Every Four Corners Homes listing includes 3D mapping and virtual tours, professional photos, global 21st century footprint, and marketing exposure that makes it easy for buyers to find and identify what makes your listing unique. Marketing and exposure sells real estate, and if you want the best, you need Four Corners Homes on your team. Find us at fourcornershomes.net or call 801-404-0058.
Hi, my name is Sean.
Hello, my name is David Palmer, and I am the Parks and Recreation Director for the City of Blanding.
Hi, my name is Sylvia Stubbs. As a recently elected San Juan County Commissioner,
We are so excited to collaborate with SJC-PAC Coalition and San Juan Counseling to bring parents-empowered messaging to our beautiful Wellness Center pool area.
Parents Empowered is a Utah campaign designed to help parents understand the power they have in reducing the risk of underage drinking.
Survey data tells us that youth perception of risk in San Juan County in all grades went from 83.6% in 2019 to 68.3% in 2021. This means our kids don't understand the damage that alcohol and other drugs can cause on their developing brains.
Did you know that Utah teens reported that parental disapproval is the #1 reason they choose not to drink?
Never assume your children know what your rules, expectations, and attitudes are. Write them down and discuss them with your kids so they understand the reasons behind them.
Bonding is essential to preventing underage drinking. Children are less likely to drink when the parents are involved in their lives and when children and the parents feel close to one another.
Together, we can help build a stronger San Juan County.
Let's do this!
Back live to San Juan High School, Friday Night Lights post-game show on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. Broadcast is brought to you tonight in part by San Juan School District Adult Education, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Bradford Tire, San Juan Counseling, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, San Juan Mortuary, Four Corners Homes, Utah Navajo Health System, Main Street Drug and Boutique, San Juan Credit Union, Tailor Made Wooden Heritage, and Innovation Medical Group. And again, a huge shout out, a huge thanks to all the sponsors who make these broadcasts possible. We could not do it without your support, and these running clock games kind of kill the sponsorship availability. So obviously a lot of commercials loaded in here at the end of the broadcast, but we are finally going to take a look at these stats. Good conversation with Coach Christensen. Obviously some excitement on their side tonight with the big 31st win in a row and the big 53-13 shellacking here tonight. A very convincing effort from the San Juan Broncos. And we'll start it off with the visiting Emery Spartans. 205 yards passing, 20 of 28 for Wade Stilson, but no touchdowns for him. He ran actually he was sacked most of the night tonight. That's how he got most of his rushing yardage. So unfortunately for him, finishes with negative 25 yards tonight. In fact, the Spartans had all total tonight 15 yards rushing. So all total 220 yards of offense tonight unofficially. And both touchdowns came from Dane Sitrud. And in fact, the biggest completion of the night for Wade Stilson, and I don't mean to put him down or anything, but really was kind of questionable. That 55-yarder was a questionable completion, and then resulted in the second touchdown of the night. Both of them from Dane Sitrud, the senior running back, and he ended the night 17 carries, 35 yards tonight, and counted for all the offense for them. Receiver-wise, Luke Justice, 17 yards, 4 catches. Mason Stilson, 44 yards, 5 catches. Deacon Mangum, 59 yards on 5 catches. Porter Herdsman had 2 catches for 20 yards. Rhett Peterson into the night, 2 catches for 10 yards. Moving over to the San Juan Broncos, who, of course, picked up the big 53-13 win, and a lot more numbers in their stat sheet, that's for sure. How about the night from Parker Snyder tonight? 360 yards passing unofficially. I have him of 20 for 25 and 5 touchdowns tonight. An impressive effort from the senior here this evening. He also ran the ball 9 times for 62 yards and an additional touchdown. Zach Conway had a great night tonight again. 14 carries for him, 124 yards and 2 touchdowns. And he also had 2 catches for 42 yards unofficially and an additional touchdown. So he and Parker Snyder just, again, continue to carry this team and just all over the place on the field. Jake Ivins had a great night tonight. 9 catches for 155 yards and 2 of the touchdowns. Brigham Nielsen, 4 catches, 66 yards and 1 TD. Javen Montella, who didn't play as far as I could tell since the first quarter, ended the night with 2 catches, 54 yards and a 42-yard touchdown run, or a catch, I should say. Guys who came in, well, Trace Bennett played some in the first half and second half, and he ran the ball once for 15 yards. And also caught a couple passes for 33 yards. And then late in the game, Jayton Knight, of course, and Jagger Neves and J.D. Palmer and all those guys came in and got minimal yardage for San Juan, of course, under the running clock scenario. And then eventually in the victory formation, they really only had 1 possession. So no stats really to speak of for those guys. The Broncos ended the night tonight with 219 yards rushing and 3 touchdowns on the ground, 359 yards through the air, and the 5 touchdown passes that Parker Snyder threw. So that'll pretty much close it out for us here tonight. We are going to take one more quick break, and we'll be back here in a couple minutes, and we will close it out with some final thoughts. Again, the San Juan Broncos win their 31st in a row and move to 6-0 with a 53-13 victory over Emery tonight. Stay with us. We'll come back one final time. It is Friday Night Lights on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com.
San Juan Credit Union. Your money, your future, your credit union. We have branches available in Blanding, Monticello, and Bluff. Come on down and see us.
In 1957, Lyle and Clea Johnson founded Lyle Northern Electric. What began as a small business in their family home has grown into the prominent local company it is today, a third-generation owned and operated company. Lyle Northern Electric is honored to have served the people of San Juan County for the past 65 years and is a proud supporter of high school sports. At Energy Fuels, creating opportunities and participating in the local community is important to us. Thanks to our dedicated employees, we're safely producing critical materials that support cleaner energy sources and a better planet for future generations. Knowing that the youth of today will make great contributions tomorrow, we're proud to sponsor San Juan High School athletics.
Final time, Friday Night Lights post-game show on Red Rock 92 and pictureitpalmer.com. It was a 53-13 victory for the San Juan Broncos tonight. Very convincing victory, and it is their 31st win in a row. That sets a new school record and moves them into sole possession of the 5th longest winning streak in Utah high school football history. So the Broncos well on their way this season, obviously just continue to crush their opponents. There hasn't been a single game this year that's been close or challenging for San Juan. The closest, you'd have to go back to Layton Christian in the first game of the season, and that one was a 23-point victory. Nothing's been any closer this season, and it's just been absolute whippings that the Broncos have put on the football field this year, and that includes tonight, obviously, one of the biggest wins of the season to follow up their shellacking of Judge Memorial last week, 67-7. And so, Art, this team just continues to show who they are. Tonight is the first night that you heard Coach Christensen say he was really, he didn't find anything to say that they had done wrong there in that game out in front of him tonight. Of course, he always is going to get in the film and nitpick the whole thing to death, but at least out on the field tonight, he was real proud of his team's effort all around.
Yeah, I think his secondary played really well tonight. They did their job. They contained Emery's passing game for the most part outside of 1-2 plays. But I thought what was really key when you asked him, how do they keep that focus on a penalty and they come back? And he said, it's that summer stuff. It's getting in the weight room. It's doing the summer drills. It's doing that stuff we want to. And, but the key there is championship teams, championship-minded kids, they do that stuff. They want to do that stuff. And that's why they get 50 kids out in the summer, all summer long. This isn't like some teams where they go and do a 3-day camp here and then start in July. This is all summer long for these kids. And these kids go out and buck hay. They go out and move cows. They go out and work a summer job. Some of them sit at home, and even the kids that are at home playing, Nintendo 360 or whatever they play nowadays, the Xbox.
I think games are virtual these days.
Date myself now. The Xbox. Even those kids come to those things in the summer, and it's all summer long, every week, and they're doing those things, and that's correlates to Friday nights during the season. That's how you get to where San Juan is right now, and it's no secret. Teams could do that if they want to, but it's sometimes it's hard to do that, and you got to have coaches that are willing to put in the effort in the summer too. So
right. I
thought they played a well game tonight. I was like Coach Christian said. He also mentioned that he had to have assistant coach come in before the game, kind of calm him down, talk to him, because this was maybe a little PTSD from last year in the semifinals. This was a game that most of us that watch football and kind of live and breathe the game. This was the game that we expected to see the best effort against San Juan.
Right.
Now, Emery did have a receiver that was out, and but one player doesn't make 50-point swing. And so San Juan came out, and I think those players came out, and they knew what was in front of them. They knew what happened last year and how close it could have been to not getting back to that state championship game. And I think those kids came out tonight and wanted to leave no doubt in the fans and their coaches and in their teammates' mind that, hey, we are the two-time defending state champs. We have the streak, and we're going to get it done.
Absolutely. I think it's like you say, you can either be jealous of this team or you can look at what they're doing and try to emulate them. And it comes down to what they're doing. It's not just because they have more guys out here on their roster. They have more guys on their roster because of what they build, and all these guys are bought in. And you can see the kids coming up from underneath. The underneath leagues, are already coming up and are going to be the same thing for this team going forward. So yeah, it's obviously an exciting program they've got going on here, and they looked really good tonight in a very convincing win, their 31st in a row. So that'll do it for us here. We're going to head immediately back out on the road. That's no surprise for us. It's a lot of mileage this year. We're going to South Sevier next week, just past Richfield. We're going to Monroe, they say. I would say Monroe, but
that's
Monroe.
Like your second home, because you do that trip a lot for
yep.
basketball. So
I know all the hotels and all the restaurants over in Richfield. So
that's not really a travel for you.
No, I feel that's where you start feeling on your way home. That's some of the outlying areas where you start to feel like you're back in your own neighborhood when you hit Richfield. You're like, I'm almost home now. So yeah, it's almost a local game for us, that's for sure, with the mileage we've been doing, absolutely. And I heard Coach Christensen talk last week when we finished the Salt Lake City gauntlet, but I hate to tell him this. If you're going to go through the playoffs, we're headed right back up there again in the state semifinals. So we'll be back up that way again this season. We know that for sure. So all right, it was a 53-13 win here tonight for San Juan. It's the first of two games on Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com this weekend. The Monticello Buckaroos going to be taking on Plateau Valley tomorrow, and I misspoke. We called that Plateau Valley score. That was a week ago. So I'm sitting here thinking, wow, Plateau Valley is going to play 2 games in a row. That's not the case. They are going to play that game tomorrow, and that's their only game this weekend. So Monticello and Plateau Valley tomorrow at 1. That'll be on the air, Red Rock 92 and PictureItPalmer.com. So join us for that. That'll do it for us here tonight. Let me say some thanks to Caleb Carr and Cortland Lyman, not only for the work tonight, but also the street tacos that he gave us this evening. Those things are absolutely beautiful and lovely and tasty. So thanks, Cortland, for that. And also thanks to all the sponsors. We couldn't do these broadcasts without you. Thanks to all the listeners and the viewers tonight. You're the reason why we do this. We will thank the sponsors one final time during the close. That'll do it for us here tonight after a 53-13 win for the San Juan Broncos. We'll see you next week at South Sevier. On behalf of Art Adair, Rhett Sifford saying so long from the San Juan High School football field. Have a great night and a great rest of your weekend, high school sports fans.
Friday Night Lights is a production of Red Rock 92 Sports and PictureItPalmer.com. Tonight's broadcast was brought to you by Anderson Oliver Title Insurance Agency, Utah State University Blanding, San Juan Health, Car Shop Auto Body, Colleen Kays, author of The 7 Dynamos of Organizational Power, Red Mechanical, San Juan Building Supply, Flights Gymnastics, Northern Electric, Red Mesa Home Health, Emery Telcom, Napa Motor Parts, Creative Floors, San Juan School District CTE programs, Blue Mountain Foods, Energy Fuels, Palmer Sprinkling, Precision Rehab, Lee Contracting, Desert Rivers Credit Union, Holiday Construction, Quality Auto, San Juan Pharmacy, Canyonlands Tire, Diamond Propane, Knowles Home Furnishings, Red's Ace Hardware, Southeastern Utah 7-Eleven stores, Blue Mountain Hospital, Primary Residential Mortgage, Monson's Quality Meat Processing, Four Corners Electric, San Juan School District Adult Education, Jones and DeMille Engineering, Bradford Tire, San Juan Counseling, Lee Collision Repair and Restoration, Pick-a-Stitch Embroidery and Apparel, San Juan Mortuary, Four Corners Homes, Utah Navajo Health System, Main Street Drug, San Juan Credit Union, Tailor-Made Wooden Heritage, and Innovation Medical Group. We're the home of live high school sports coverage in southeastern Utah, Classic Hits Radio, Red Rock 92, and PictureItPalmer.com.